We in the building, my peoples. We in the building.
Errol, for sure.
And I wanted to talk, man. Everybody I don't know, Clay, if they sending you this diabolical Errol Spence getting arrested nonsense.
No, I haven't seen it, but I did see you had like a video. I saw the thumbnail saying that they said he got arrested somewhere over that Yellow Beezy situation, whatever happened.
Yeah,
Or
I'm like, bro.
military.
And this be the people, man. This be the nonsense in boxing, bro. In my inbox, they just, yeah, you ain't talking about your boy Errol. You ain't talking about. I'm like, bro, that's not even my lane. I
Right,
don't.
we like DJ Academics. Like, shout out to DJ Academics.
Right.
They look like we don't care about no
like
that.
I'm not Vlad TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want me to say? Like, I hope it ain't true. I hope he ain't got no involvement.
Right.
That man take care of his kids. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm concerned with in the sport of boxing, bro.
Especially we talking about legal issues, man. The best way you can help him is not covering it. You feel me? Like, you don't want to make.
I don't know nothing about that, man.
You want me to put my journalistic glasses on and start breaking down and seeing if he did or didn't do it? What I look like, a private investigator? No, bro. We're talking about boxing.
They was diabolical in my inbox. If this was Tank, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? I don't. If this was Tank, what?
Right. I wouldn't be talking about that either. You know what I mean? Unless if I see he got arrested, I might say something on it. But
as a matter of fact, when Tank situation, I talked about Tank situation in a good light. I'm like, bro, they trying to do him dirty. I ain't, bro. Come on, man. Hey, Kate Crowder, what's up, family? Cordell Smith, brother, in the super chat already, right out the gate. He said, y'all got Boots beating Stanionis? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, today we had a great conversation about this whole Boots and
Stanionis.
Stanionis. Well, not only that, but Boots and Stanionis and Boots, more importantly, and Brian Norman. Yeah. You know what I mean? And how that whole fight happens. You know, listen, like I told those guys, man, I said, listen, man, it's all good, man. We can say it's 50-50, 60-40, 55-45, whatever the number is that you want to put on it, on how that fight goes. But the reality is that it needs to happen as far as the negotiations. And last time, for all argument's sake, Brian Norman did price himself out. That's what happened. He priced himself out. Did he do it in the spirit of ducking Boots and he didn't want to fight? No. But his price was too high, a little too premium. Not worthwhile for Eddie Hearn and those guys to go ahead and put that money up for Boots from their point of view. So now that he's put
on my power, bro.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
So not for nothing, but in the spirit of making the fight happen, are the Normans willing to concede and compromise and come out with a better number that makes more sense in the spirit of the fight happening, knowing that Turkey's not behind this fight? You guys are on your own. This is about what Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum are able to come to an agreement with in order to put this fight together, money-wise.
Hold on, man. I'll be right back. Let me try to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And first the internet. Now look, the power went right out.
So you're gonna leave it? Yeah. All right. We leave us to our vices. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Maybe I should do a little roll call, right? Salute to everybody in the building. We got a couple people in here throwing straight facts boxing. Salute to you, family. V. Ferreira, Dennis Ashby, John J. Doe, YG Knight in the building. Salute, King. G. McCall 09 in the building. Good to see you, man. And my brother, AK Crowder. Good to see you again, man. Hope everything is just as good as it was earlier today for you. GG Champ Chris Legg in the building. Justin Hawkins, what's good, family? DVJ 600 in the building. Never knew me. Shout out to the big fish for sure in the building. Let me see. Let's cut down to Daniel Grimes. We got 619 Cali Factor. That's San Diego Flavor in the building. Salute to you, King. Ponce de Leon in the building. Peace and blessings to you as well, man. Yashawa in the building. Definitely make sure you guys hit the button. It is free. Take an opportunity to go ahead and hit that like button so this video gets where it needs to be at, man. Yee Honcho, yeah, what's good, family? What it do? Condo, LDBC on nothing. Hashtag 82, man. Salute to you, family. Blue, salute you too as well. I'm very sure of it. Christopher the Prophet in the building. Cordell Smith in the building. Jordan Smith in the building. My God, Pancho Villa in the building, man. Salute to you. G Money, how you doing, brother? T Bugs, how you doing, brother? Acondo, I already hollered at you, but since I saw you again, how you doing 2 times? Fame in the building says, I'll be back when blue black. Psych. Nah, Clay, you was going to do me like that. That's how you was going to do me. I know that's how you was going to do me, King. That's definitely how you was going to do me. I think I hollered at everybody, man. Jay Lynn, peace of the queen. Jay Lynn, peace of the queen. In the building. Zosa, 6305 in the building, man. Hannibal, salute to you, King. Salute to Jerome Purdy. Salute to Culture Nerds in the building. Man, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Salute. So, I mean, Blue got it in the thumbnail what it's going to be about. I'm not too familiar with what's going on with this Floyd Mayweather comeback. It doesn't shock me if he is actually coming back to make a fight. This is the things he does. I'm sure it'll be strategically planned in the right way and will be stylistically the right fighter that it needs to be for Floyd to deliver on a fight like that, without a doubt, right? Some people screaming out for Tank Davis. I think that'd make the biggest numbers, right? That'd be the biggest numbers in the world. But it is what it is, right? With Floyd, it is what it is, man. What's on y'all mind today, man? I've been talking about boxing all day, and I don't want to talk about what y'all don't want to talk about. So what do y'all want to talk about? What do we want to break down right now? Help me out here, man, because if I go on a tangent, we're gonna go in places. We're gonna go in different places, right? You know what I'm saying? So what are you guys feeling like, man? Floyd Crawford after Canelo? Hannibal? Nah. Floyd don't want to do nothing with no damn Crawford right now. That's just a little too Crawford's just a little too hungry still. You know what I mean? He hasn't been domesticated enough for Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford hasn't been domesticated enough. Floyd wants to fight a domesticated cat. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's really not that much of a threat here, not much of a threat there. I know I stylistically could take advantage of him there. He doesn't want somebody switch hitting on him and somebody with who stopped every welterweight he ever done fought against and just coming off of a Canelo Alvarez fight, man. That's a bloodthirsty version of a nightmare right there for somebody like Floyd Mayweather. He's definitely not getting involved in no type of business like that. Just got a feeling, guys. That's all. Just got a feeling. Where we at? Hope Floyd don't come back. No doubt Floyd can come back to 150 and get his old ass smoked by Buddy. I mean, that's what he wants to do. You know, we're going to tap in. We're going to pay that bill, right? We're going to pay that bill, and a lot of you guys are going to hit that stream, but that fight is going to get watched. So whatever he wants to do. See, the Libra 926, my God, man, said, which Charlo you think is going to come back better? That's a good question, man. If I got to bet on somebody to come back better, I'm going to say Jamel. Jamel seemed to always has historically always taken the boxing more seriously. Jamal Charlo's always been the talented guy that you wanted to see do more because you know he could do more, but he's definitely shown that he has no problem not doing more, right? He's going to come get that check. He's going to do what benefits him, but ultimately, it's been a very long time since I've seen Jamal Charlo make boxing a priority in his life. At least Jamel pushed it all the way to undisputed. He did go up and look crazy ass in front of Canelo Alvarez, but still, at least he pushed and he stayed in the game, got his big bag and his big payday, made his $10 million and went and took a little hiatus out the game. But it does seem like when he's here and fully present in mind, body, and spirit. Jamal Charlo, you just can't count on him, man. Who do I think will look better in the ring? Probably Jamal. I would think Jamal's going to look. I think Jamal just naturally he just fights well, right? It's entertaining. He doesn't run around. He steps, got that great jab. He's probably going to look great against a fighter who's going to be willing to fight, who's going to stand in front of him and try to win in Thomas Lamana. It's probably going to be the better looking fight. Jamel Charlo's probably going to, he'll fight a good fight too, but I would expect Jamal's fight to look good. You know what I mean? That's what I would think. Ray Davis in the building. Salute my brother Ray Davis. Said, come on, Clay. Floyd is in the gym teaching Bud, getting ready for Canelo. No need to fight him at the moment. That's true too as well. That's definitely true, or possibly true. I don't know if it is true, but rumor is it is what it is. Oh man, all day, every day. Kim said these chumps want to see Floyd lose so bad. They always want to see him lose, man. That's always the thing about it, right? Like, let's be right. Let's be real all day, every day, Kim. At this point, at his age, if he jumps in the ring with the wrong fighter, you'll get nervous and wonder if he's going to lose, right? Let's be honest. We all be nervous. Like, damn, hold on now, Floyd. We kind of want to keep him undefeated, right? We like the 50-0 Floyd, or 51-0, whatever his number is. I think he's 50-0 right now, Floyd. We want to, we want you to stay like that, Floyd. You know what I mean? Give all these fighters something to reach for. But at the same time, a loss might humble the game down. and take the pressure off a little bit of having to be undefeated, right? The way you might want to look at it is what it is. DVJ600 said, I think Boots versus Stanionis is going to be a lot closer than y'all think, man. I agree with you, man. I don't know if it's going to be, but I think it definitely has the moving parts to be a way closer fight. Look, Stanionis ain't coming to fold, lay down, and it's like, you guys know already how I feel about these Eastern Europeans, man. Strategically, these guys are going to come prepared to fight Boots. Now, the question is for Stanionis, is he preparing himself to fight the Boots that fought against David Avanesian and Karen Kukadajian, or is he ready to fight the best Boots, which is the Boots that's athletic, moving around, hard, damn near impossible to hit at times, hits real hard? You know what I mean? There's a Boots that we haven't seen in a little while, and I wonder if the boxing game has been fooled into believing that Boots no longer exists. Do we believe that the Boots that fought in his last 2 fights is the new and the last version of Boots that we're coming to see? Or are we ready to acknowledge that Boots has shown different faces in the game? And we can argue to say that he's learned his lesson as he's had 2 pedestrian fights as far as the fan base is considered him, and he can come and probably will be a way different fighter now, not only off the end of those performances, but off the end of no rehydration clause. Yeah, we might see a different Boots, a whole different Boots that we haven't seen in a long time. So Stanionis better make sure he prepares for the best Boots and not the Boots that he saw in those last 2 those last 2 fights, right? It is what it is. What's up, young Earl? What's good with you, man? What's good, man? Boots makes a lot of mistakes. He's made a lot of mistakes, but he can be more defensively responsible. He can be more. Boots can be very cerebral in that ring. He can be very cerebral. He has those wrinkles to his game. I'm telling you guys, man, I think in some crazy way, one of the best things that might have ever happened to Boots was those last 2 performances he's had, right? Because in reality, people have a short-term memory and forget when nobody wanted to fight Boots. Why didn't anybody want to fight Boots a couple of years ago? What happened? What did those fighters see? What did everybody see in Boots that made them not want to fight him? And is that guy dead and gone? I don't think so. I don't think that guy that they were scared of 2-3 years ago is dead and gone. Nah, bro. I think we got to see what happens, man. I think we might have been sold some wolf tickets to a show that's just a show. You know what I'm saying? It's not real life. It is what it is. Let's see. Chris Lake said Boots looked amazing against bums and has been touched a ton in his last few fights. He can't keep getting hit like that. I agree with you. He has to adjust. Boots has to adjust, and he has to acknowledge the shortcoming, and he has to do what he needs to do and be honest with himself. But look, I don't think it's far-fetched that there's honesty happening in that camp. I don't think it's far-fetched at all that Bozy Ennis isn't acknowledging what he saw. It's not far-fetched that Boots is not acknowledging what he delivered. He was humble in his post press conference, and he communicated right there after the Karen fight that he knows he could have done better and gave you the reasons and as to why. Just the acknowledgement lets you know that he's working to do and make a better performance than he had against Karen. I think it's going to be an interesting night. Definitely still leaning towards Boots to win that fight with Stanionis, and not leaning like 55-45. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm giving Boots a solid like 65-35, maybe even a 70-30 leverage as far as odds go on that fight. It is what it is, man. Let's see here, man. Ray Davis says, let's take Boots for his word and see if his adjustments and skills come out with the better competition here and now. I agree with you, Ray Davis, 100%. Lavish Life Entertainment says that same guy turned down a Crawford fight and wanted to go the IBF route. Let's not forget. Hey, man, it's about, sometimes we look at those situations, and I think we look deeper into them than maybe we need to, right? Did Boots go the IBF route because it was the easier route as far as the fighter in Terrence Crawford versus the fighter in Errol Spence, or did he go that route because of the how easy it would be to make the fight? Being that Boots at the time was with Cameron Duncan, Showtime, and Steven Espinosa, who's vicariously working with the PBC, and Errol Spence was a PBC fighter. Did it make more sense to put that fight together and make it happen, or was it easier to make it happen with Terrence Crawford? And at the same time, the way the loyalty thing works with Bozy and Boots, did, you know, them pointing that fight in the direction of Steven Espinosa, involving Steven Espinosa in making that fight happen, was that what shot them in the foot? As Steven Espinosa also was well in the pockets of the PBC and Tom Brown Entertainment, and probably wasn't going to do anything, like he said from his own lips, that was going to get in the way of that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight happening, as he had more loyalty to Errol Spence. So we don't know if him not fighting against Terrence Crawford or going that WBO route was necessarily solely surrounded over the fact that he knew that Terrence Crawford was a hard fighter to fight against, more than a strategically sound decision that was made, and not to mention the politics of promoters and lawyers like Steven Espinosa operating on the vested interest of the promotional company, not necessarily the promotional company and the promotional company's fighter, not necessarily in the spirit of what Jerome Boots Ennis ultimately wants. We'll never know, right? We'll never know. Let's see here, man. Arcando LDBC or Nothing 82 says, when Boots takes the fight seriously, his defense with his footwork is a problem. I agree with you 100%. And he's a stepper, which also gives problems. I mean, I agree with you 100%, Arcando. 100%, man. What's up with boxing says, don't be fooled by Jerombo with his last super performance. He gonna show who he really is. I like that, man. I like that. Boots needs a worthy opponent, not in his division, blah, blah, blah. Salute to DOG 215 in the building. Dennis Ashby says Boots needs that marquee name, aka TO. Yeah, and I think I agree with you. I think he could benefit from it. Does he need? I don't know, man. Saying he needs sometimes sounds a little extreme, because what does he need in comparison to what he wants? But without a doubt, a Teofimo on his resume does a lot good for him rather than bad, as far as market value is concerned, as far as sellability and commercial value is concerned. But Boots seems to be one of those guys who hasn't made his whole entire journey in boxing around money at all. That just doesn't move the needle for him, right? Money's good, but he's very, very interested, at least in this point in his career, in the legacy of it. But I think there's still legacy there for him and Teofimo as well. But, you know, there's straps out there now, and you've got Brian Norman Jr. stirring up the pot right now, saying that he's interested in all unification fights. It's a different Brian Norman Jr. mentally. I don't know about willingly, but mentally a different Brian Norman Jr. who seems to want to make that fight happen. And, you know, does Boots turn away a third belt on, you know, assuming, of course, that he walks away with a win against Stanionis? Does he turn away that opportunity for, you know, building up his resume as far as like market value and fight against Teofimo and build that relationship with Turki Al-Sheikh? Or does he tap into, you know, the legacy thing and you know, fight Brian Norman Jr.? We got to see, man. We got to see, man. Boots need the marquee. I agree. He definitely should fight TOC. Just for the name, T.O. might not even get past Barboza. You ain't lying, Marcus R. You are not lying, man. You're not lying at all, man. You know, Teofimo still needs to get past Arnold Barboza. I mean, just like Boots needs to get past Stanionis. But that Barboza fight, I'm telling you guys, man, don't be shocked if that fight doesn't go the way people think it's going to go. I think a lot of people are assuming that this fight is going to go a certain way because they put Teofimo all the way up here. But, man, if we just go fight by fight, man, T.O.'s looked pedestrian multiple times in 140 pounds, right? He just has. We've seen him look pedestrian against Sandor Martin. We've seen him look pedestrian against Steve Claggett. You know what I mean? We've seen him look pedestrian against Jermaine Ortiz. Boxers, well, Steve Claggett, not necessarily, but as far as Jermaine Ortiz and Sandor Martin is concerned, pedestrian, and those guys are boxers. And I'm telling you, Arnold Barboza checks the boxes as far as being a disciplined boxer. His father's going to make sure he's like that. Does that translate to a victory against Teofimo? Maybe. Teofimo doesn't come to the ring with strategies. He operates in freestyles and bounces around. And I saw a video of him sparring the other day. My man was looking at what's the drunken master's name again? Y'all help me. You know what I mean? Like, he was looking like that. How do you train that? What's the strategy behind that? Where's the structure behind that? Somebody who just believes that he's going to athletically take advantage of you and win the fight only in that way. Where's the strategy? At some point, as the competition goes up, Teofimo needs to leave out and he needs to start to get comfortable with strategy and film study and how he's going to approach a fight based on what the fighter brings to the table. Yeah, Manuel Augustus, exactly. he was looking like that. I mean, Emmanuel Augustus looked great when he looked great, but when he didn't, you know,
finally got it back up and running.
everything is moving and grooving. Light up, internet is on, mic is working.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was listening to you cook. Yeah, 1000%, man. I agree with everything you just said.
With Arnold Barboza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the structure's not there, man. I was hoping that Eddie Reynoso would bring the structure, but Eddie Reynoso's not in the camp no more. He's back to the dudes he started with a long time ago. So that means we're gonna see Teofimo doing backflips and cartwheels and bouncing around, breakdancing. He's gonna be entertaining, but is that going to be effective? Is Arnold Barboza the final straw? Is he the straw that's going to break the camel's back? Because straight shots, man, always get to the point faster than looping wild, unpredictable shots, which is cool until it's not.
Exactly. 1000%, man. But as far as the Floyd Mayweather situation,
let's talk about
I talked to a couple of members of Floyd Mayweather's family members and team that said that it's true. Floyd Mayweather was inquiring about fighting George Kambosos. Don't know how serious he is, but they said don't be surprised if he fought a big name. If he came back and fought a big name, he still could do it. And I told him, I believe it. I'll never bet against Floyd. I don't know how much of a headspace Floyd is in to compete in boxing. I mean, everything I see is about real estate, and he seems like a happily retired man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in a good space, retired. You know what I'm saying? But again, what they say, Clay, social media is a liar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It don't tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's the case or whatever may have you. But that's what I was told, that Jay Lynn, peace bless, Queen. Yeah, that's what I was told. So I'm like, and it was told to me on some, because I'm like, man, this got to be a joke. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it came to me like, Floyd is about that life type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, man, I ain't betting against Floyd. I ain't going against him, but Floyd is, 47?
Yeah, he like 47, 48 years old for sure.
Yeah.
Right up there.
So, you know what I'm saying? He ain't the youngest, and Father Time. You could beat every boxer you want. One you ain't gonna beat is Father Time. That's who you ain't gonna beat.
He's undefeated every time, man. He doesn't care about none of your mantras and your old sayings and the things that keep you in the game.
Skill set, diet, lifestyle. Father Time is like,
I sleep 8 to 10 hours a night. I take my vitamins every day. My potassium, my magnesium, my D1, my B12, I do everything. I'm not like you guys. You right? You ain't like us, but you ain't better than Father Time still though. You not like us though. You right? You moving around different.
You ain't never gonna be Father Time. You know what I'm saying?
You always gonna whoop my ass if that makes you feel any better.
Never knew me said George Foreman be Father. No, he didn't. George Foreman got waxed many times. Salute to the late, great, legendary, iconic Hall of Famer George Foreman. Right. But let's be real. George Foreman got waxed 1,000 times over before he had that punch against Michael Moore.
Right. And he took a lot of shots too.
A lot of shots.
Yeah.
Like, let's not act like George Foreman. Yeah, he what would they say, Clay? A broke clock is right twice a day.
Right. He made it happen when he made it happen. When he didn't make it happen, it was looking like Father Time was telling him on play. When it wasn't happening, it was all Father Time.
Even the punch he landed, it was like, did that really land?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Even when you watch it to this day, it's like, damn, man, Moore just got laid out.
Yeah, what happened? Father, he was losing to Father Time as well. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was looking very bleak for him to achieve what he was setting out to achieve. Let's not forget that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Father Time will never lose. Mm-hmm. Never. Mm-hmm. So with that said, I said, if he is coming back, right, George Kambosos is somebody to just get his feet wet. that would be somebody just to gauge his reaction. Right. Yeah, so he could test himself and see, you know what I'm saying, with a real training camp, because we know he do the exhibitions, but with a real training camp, how does his reflexes bounce back? You know what I'm saying? Because to himself, he got to be telling himself, right, Clay? Yeah, well, you know, I don't really train for these exhibitions, right? So you don't really know what your reflexes is, what your timing is like. You know what I'm saying? It's all tune up. It's all playing around. What it's going to look like with a real 2 to 3 month training camp, really buckling down, really focusing on training camp, really getting after it, having real sparring partners, a real schedule, then to see how your body responds. Because that's another thing about Father Time, right, Clay? Your body taking that punishment for 3 to 4 months or 2 to 3 months in training camp, how's that going to respond? How is the healing going to be? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you got to get in the ring and perform. That's the easy part, right? The hard part about it, Clay, me and you both know, we on the wrong side of 40.
Right.
You go in the gym, your mind, your heart say, hey, you don't feel like nothing changed. Go in the gym, hitting the weights, but boy, that recovery that used to take,
you start to realize
a day, you go there 2 days later and you're like, wait a minute, it's still sore.
Crazy sore.
Crazy sore. Wait a minute, legs are still sore. I can hit legs every 48 hours. Now my legs are still sore.
Right. I can't hit my legs till next week.
I can't do it till next week. I need 7-day rest. You know what I'm saying? Bro. So that's just, and it don't matter your eating habits, your body is just going to reject.
Facts.
It's going to reject. It just is what it is. So that's what the challenge for him is going to be. And I think that the George Kambosos fight is something to say, let me see what a full training camp, full sparring, my body going through full rigorous training, beating up my body. And now let me see how my body responds after that, if I can do it. Yeah, Lucky Showtime. You know what I'm saying? You get on the wrong. I don't know how old you are, Lucky Showtime, but you get on. I be in the gym 6 days a week, bro. I hit every body part twice a week. And boy, oh boy, I find it with some body parts, Clay, I got to stretch it out. I'll be like, hey, wait a minute now. Chest and back and buys got to be at least 4 days apart, 3 to 4 days apart. Bicep and my back be good. Back good. Biceps, they be like, yeah, no, bro.
Yeah, bro. Ain't enough protein in the world, bro, to have you hit.
Ain't enough protein in the world.
Sit your ass down somewhere, bro.
Yeah, vitamins, sea moss, everything. My biceps be like, yeah, bro. I feel good. I got the pump. They grew. Everything. Right? Looking good. But boy, I go back in the gym. Wait a minute.
You be lucky to curl half the weight you did yesterday.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Clay. I got to stretch and warm up a little bit longer. Yeah. Biceps screaming, D-Boy Dad. They be like, hey, bro, heavy barbell curls? That ain't for us today. Wait a minute. I need you. I'll be in there. Ray Davis, what's up, family? Hey, Clay, I'll be in there. Man, I be trying to do my best. You know, you gotta grow. You know what I'm saying? Trying to talk to myself.
Talking to the muscle. You know what I mean?
Muscle be like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, bro. But
gotta and can, man, bro. Thin line between love and hate, baby. Because you might gotta, but what you can do is what you can do.
Is what you can do.
Can't do. I ain't got nothing to do with it, brother. Forget what I gotta do. What I gotta do better align and stay inside the bracket of what I can do, or we got issues.
That's a fact. Jose Santos II, he said, I'm 45 and I box and kickbox. You guys are not lying about the recovery. It's the recovery.
Yeah. I got a solid first day for you, right? That first day, We bringing it back. We knocking back the clock. We not used. That second day, listen, man. I'm gonna see you next week, man. I just came here to watch and cheer you on.
I go in there. I barbell curl 90 to 100 pounds. Straight barbell curl. Next bicep day, it got to be 3-4 days apart.
Better.
Because if I try to do
now
it
you're gonna tear
hours,
something up, and now you're gonna tear something up if you try to push it and not be able to work for a month. Now you're gonna tear something up and be sitting on the sideline for like a month and a half trying to recover from you trying to be a gangster.
Yeah, exactly. Dennis Ashby, he said that push and pull breaks you down. I know I'm 48. Facts. K different breed. I did legs today, Queen. I'm good on legs. It just I gotta spread. See, it depends. Like I could go super heavy, Queen. Like today, I went heavy squats. You know what I'm saying? But my knees be talking to me, Clay. They like, bro, you forgot how old we are? Well, I be going to walk up the stairs, and I'm like, what is that sharp pain? My hamstrings is good. Quads is good. You know, it's a little sore. But boy, I went to walk up the stairs in the house, and I'm like, man, what is the sharp pain going down the middle of my knees? It's different. It's a whole different breed, K. Whole different breed for us old folk. Man, Clay, I be in the gym. I ain't never now be in there padded up. Elbow pads, knee pads,
braces, support here, right? And the bend, and you got the Bengay and the hot rub inside the bag, right? For in the car ride home, right?
Talking to the old folks in there, we be in there. Hey, bro, we be trading injuries. Hey, bro, my forearms, I can't sleep. My forearms be hurting.
Hell yeah, like, bro.
Oh
that
man,
icy hot, right? D-boy, that icy hot in the workout bag for in the car. Got inside the car smelling like you trying to get over the flu.
Bro, I be sleeping like this because my forearms hurt. I'm sleeping like this. Oh man, it's nasty work, bro.
Straight up, man. Trying to hold it all together, man.
Nasty work.
Trying not to fall apart.
Yeah, it's nasty work, bro. But yeah, so you know what I'm saying? That's my thoughts on Floyd with that situation. But people, we're gonna have special guests on, Serafina, and we're gonna have a special boxer on that's trying to make headlines and make a path in the sport of boxing. And Antoine Jones. So we're gonna send them the link now. They're gonna come on, join us. Then we're gonna get back to these topics at hand, people. Back to these topics at hand. I done copied the link.
Yeah, I've seen him over here working.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, Clay. That what? My body be like, bruh.
It's serious work, man. It's not easy out here.
It'd be like, man, listen, you're a good man for this dedication. Oh, and that's another thing, right, Clay? Don't take a day. Don't take too many days off. Oh, forget it.
Oh, you lost all the gains.
That's it.
Now that's
it. You can't even come back. I go back. I'll be like, bro, I can't even do X, Y, and Z no more. Nope. Bro, it's just nasty work for the old folk, man. Nasty work for us old folk. That's what I'm saying. So Floyd come back and take and get beat up in sparring?
LT1.
Can you imagine?
Nah, bro. I mean, the thing about Floyd, I'm gonna give Floyd, like I said, he's different than me and you because you talk about a man who's supposedly never had a drink, never smoked a joint, always eats right, sleeps right, committed, stays inside his weight, doesn't get heavy. You know what I mean? Just if anybody could do it, it would be Floyd. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So I hate to hold Floyd to the limitations of our lazy, old, irresponsible asses trying to catch up You know what I mean? We definitely, you know what I mean, ain't the standard that Floyd should be concerned with as far as what Father Time can do. But at the end of the day, Father Time still, when it's all said and done, when the smoke is all cleared, always stands at the top of the hill as the last one standing. Always. He's here,
Salute
generation to generation.
Fact. Salute to 619 Cali Factor, my brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco. I want to see the super chat. I want to see Mayweather versus Barrios for the WBC title. Plus, Mayweather likes fighting me Mexican fighters. Perfect fight to make in my opinion. Oh yeah, perfect style matchup. I think Floyd Mayweather, if anything, would be looking at it from a standpoint, Clay, of fighting in Australia. You know, he's built his name fighting Mexican fighters, African American fighters, but fighting in different countries. LT number one energy, brother in the super chat, dropping that half a dub on the super chat. What's up, Blue and Clay? Clay, love the Mr. T poster. I'm 50 now, but when I've had a sip or two, I refer to myself as the light skinned Club of Lang.
No doubt, no doubt. You know,
hey, I was just looking at this clip. Did you see that clip that's going viral on Instagram?
Which one?
It got Jim Jones' face as Clubber Lang.
Yeah. I see
Cameron Rocky and Floyd Mayweather
is what's his name?
Mickey.
It's Mickey. I'm not gonna do it.
You don't get no shot.
You don't get no shot.
You don't get no shot.
No, was it Floyd Mayweather or was it?
Yeah, it was Floyd Mayweather.
It was Floyd, right? Yeah.
Yeah, as Mickey.
I can't do it.
Clubber Lang was diabolical, boy.
That was the dude, though, man.
He was diabolical, boy. That dude was diabolical with his approach. But yeah, people, so we're going to have special guests on. Antoine Jones, Serafina going to join us. And then we're going to get back to the topic at hand. Want to talk about this Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White $7 billion deal. Again, I've seen people that sent me clips of people talking about PBC and Top Rank putting Turki on notice with they joining together. Bro, did y'all not hear $7 billion deal? That's $1 billion a year. Not to mention the $1 trillion fund that Turki has that he can pull from the Saudi Arabia group that put $1 trillion for sports.
Right. It's
can't match
that should just, you know, it just exposes people desperation. They're putting pressure on Al Heyman that he never asked for. I'm telling you, Al Heyman is not sitting here thinking about taking no damn Turkey down. He know that shit ain't realistic. He just looking. I keep telling you, I believe wholeheartedly that he's just looking at where it fits and makes the most sense at for him to ultimately. He's gonna do business with them, bro. He's already has, bro. There's no reason for him not to. He's not caught up in that nonsense you guys are caught up on, bro. You know what I mean? Is he going to make priority American boxing that happened here in America? Yeah, but Turkey's going to oblige that too. Turkey got a problem with fights happening here, like Times Square ain't happening right now on May 2nd. Like the Raiders Stadium ain't happening in September. Like he didn't put a show on in Los Angeles. Like y'all paint these stories and paint these narratives like it's America versus, and none of the people you talking about think like that. It's just the way y'all driving traffic to y'all narrative to make money. It's just YouTube politics, man. So that's all it is, propaganda and nonsense that's not backed up with anything factual. It's hilarious that you guys sit here and you guys entertain it too, sit up in there like yeah. Meanwhile, Al is going to do business with wherever the money's at as long as it makes sense. He's going to give away his leverage and give away, any of his fighters and expose himself in a way that's going to leave him vulnerable to being hurt. No, he's going to protect his interests. But at the end of the day, Bob's already done business. Al's already done business. And clearly we know what Eddie Hernan, Frank Warren and Ben Shalom sit. So yeah, bro, ain't no tearing down Turkey, bro.
Yeah, only thing that get rid of Turkey in boxing is Turkey.
That's it. Is him putting out a statement like he did on April Fools and mess everybody's head up.
Right. Like if he decides like, hey, I just don't want to compete in the sport of boxing.
Y'all got it. Y'all can have it.
Y'all can have it. You know what I'm saying? But his pot is limitless. Muscle Up Cat, what's up, family? His pot is limitless, bro.
Yeah, the idea that you're gonna make a move to break him and be like, man, I can't compete. I'm just gonna leave. I can't compete. Yeah, right. Stop it.
Right. It's limitless what he could do.
You know how much trouble I got into a year and a half ago when I said he has he's been known to spare no expense on the things that he wants. You know how much hell I caught, bro, for that statement? And now I even hear some of those people themselves say it and be frustrated by it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't understand what it is, and I don't understand what it is to have a country that prints money.
Prints money.
Just prints it. Just dig for oil and just prints money, bro.
And Clay, oh, you could lose 10 million. He could lose 10 million. He don't care.
Bro, he spends 10 million getting dirty in the desert and buggies and flying in exotic women to come and entertain his friends. He won't even participate in it because it's haram. We'll just give him away he doesn't care about $10 million, bro. That's a holiday. Right? As they say. That's him taking a holiday.
People are not listening. That's the thing that gets me. People don't pay attention, they don't listen. Did you not hear what Eddie Hearn said? Eddie Hearn said that he's been convincing him, hey, the gate, we can make at least bottom number $5 to $7 million at the gate. And Turkey's like, yeah, I don't need $5 to $7 million.
Yeah, bro.
What am I gonna do with $5 to $7 million? They are the epitome, Clay. Because we don't have it. It's different to a person that don't have it to a person that has it, right? And has endless access to it. Well, Clay, when you have, Clay, if me and you had $20 billion, the things that excite the average 9 to 5 working person won't excite us.
Not at all.
It's not exciting no more.
I don't even got the manners that I had. I'm a different person. You know what I mean? I'm impatient in lines. I'm not going to places that have me waiting not 1 second past the time. I've got such a low tolerance for nonsense as a $20 billion sitting on 20 billion. You crazy, bro. I'm paying $10 million for quiet. I'm paying $10 million for exclusive privilege.
And that's the thing that people forget, Clay. They are viewing this from their standpoint, and that's the mistake that people are making.
Yeah.
You cannot view these situations from your standpoint.
Right.
Right? Me and Clay may say right now in the position we in, spending $10,000 on a bag or shoes is like, bro, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you know what I could do with that? But to him, it's pocket change.
It's a sale. To him, it's a sale. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me get them now before they put the price up, man. Give me 2 of them.
First of all, he's so far ahead, they ain't got to pay probably.
Yeah, bro. And that's another thing people don't understand. Look at how the $7 billion deal is coming out, supposedly, right? He's already got $1 trillion, right? For y'all who don't know, that's $999 billion plus $1 billion. That's what $1 trillion is, okay? Just give y'all some perspective, right? So if there's $1 trillion inside of a fund, look at how money's trying to come at him to get involved in what he's doing. Money that he arguably doesn't even need, right? Look how money wants to be. Yo, let us put $7 billion in on it so we can get a piece of it. I mean, I'll consider it. I don't know yet, man. I don't know if I want to give up anything. $7 billion. All right, man. Pass your phone over to my assistant. We'll holler at you if we find something we can do with the $7 billion. We're sitting on $1 trillion already. So, I mean, the money thing is not exactly where we need the help at, but I appreciate you wanting to pay to play. I will let you know where you fit in. Think about that. Right. When you got money, people with money want to get involved with you. Like right now, Blue, if you're doing something, right? And let's say you're sitting on, like $50 billion and you're able to put a big business together. Well, there might be a business seeing what you're doing and might want to go in with you, and they'll offer you, a couple $100 million, because at the end of the day, they just want to go into doing business with you. You don't even need the money.
Right. 1,000%.
It's like they're applying for a job, like they're filling out an application to go into business with you. How you doing? Good morning, ma'am. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good evening.
Good night.
Don't hold that against me. Cut that from the video.
He said, "Don't hold that against me."
Cut that from the video, bro. You know what I'm saying? How you doing?
I
Good
sent it to him
evening.
again, Queen.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Good evening, gentlemen. How are
Peace.
you?
Blessings to you, Queen. Blessings.
We out
Blessings.
here trying to make it. We trying to make it like you. We trying to get like you. That's what
That's
we're
Oh,
doing.
it. I
yeah.
tell her that all the time, trying to get on her level.
Oh man,
Exactly.
cut it out. You doing a hell of a job.
No, you live the good life.
You doing a
The
hell of
good
a
life.
job. I see you. I see you.
I'm just trying to be like you. It's just a squirrel in your world.
Oh, cut it out. Stop it.
I put it all in lower cap because the first one I put it in because you know I do everything in super cap, but so I did it in lower cap. So just check and see if he got it now.
Oh yeah, he sees it. Yeah, he
Oh,
said
he
he
sees.
sees
Okay,
it.
okay, okay.
No
But
doubt. No doubt.
nonetheless, we got the great Serafina. She's in the building.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Blessings to the Queen. So Sarah, this is my co-host Claymore Rain.
How you
Pleasure to
doing?
meet you.
Serafina, man.
Meet
Sarah,
you.
you could just introduce yourself to the people and Clay.
Oh yeah, I'm Serafina. I work now with David McWater with Split Team Management. I've been in boxing for probably a little over 20 years now. I mean, I'm aging myself, but yeah, I've been in this sport a really long time. Not always in management, but worked for promoters. Started off with Gary Shaw back in the day, Roy Jones Jr., and worked my way into management, and now I'm with David McWater, and yeah, just been doing it a while, and worked with Devin Haney and Teofimo and lots of different guys, and seen a lot in the sport for sure.
Now, from your standpoint, being in the business of the sport of boxing, how is the business of the sport of boxing itself, and being a woman in the business of the sport of boxing?
That's hey Antoine. He's one of my
Hey,
faves.
Good evening, Antoine.
what's up, everybody?
Yeah, you got it right this time.
I got it
Yeah.
right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rock,
Yeah.
put a little B-roll with that.
The business, I mean, that's so complex, that question. I mean, I can go on and on about that. I mean, the business is I mean, it's a war zone. Like there's no rules in this game. I've seen it all when it comes to this. I mean, it's a dirty business for sure. Um it's just kind of like anything goes. You just really have to be careful of who you deal with, and really know how to write and read a contract. Like that's number one. Especially as a fighter, like I suggest to all fighters that to get a good lawyer, have a good attorney and have a good lawyer and somebody on your team that really knows how to read a contract and know your rights for sure. But as a woman, it's been a gift and a curse. Kind of a gift in a sense to where people aren't as they don't have their guards up as much when dealing with me.
Sleeping
Um,
on you.
yeah, they sleep on me in the sense, like I'm not as intimidating, as fighters don't tend to, especially when dealing with fighters, is like I get like, the motherly vibes, like, oh, like I can trust her, or you know what I mean? Like it's I don't, yeah, they tend to gravitate towards me a little bit more. Um, but then also, when dealing with men, it's, obviously the sexual harassment and dealing with those types and not taking me seriously, and they think that I don't know what I'm talking about, and but then obviously when I start speaking facts and the things that I do know, and then they have to take me seriously. So it's just, yeah, yeah, like it's a double-edged sword,
Yeah, I can only imagine because it's the Wild Wild West just on the normal. So being a
yeah.
beautiful woman in the sport on top of it, I
I mean,
know that's
and
like
I think that's
double.
probably in any industry for sure,
Yeah.
but definitely when you're dealing with an industry that's monopolized pretty much by men,
Hmm.
it's going to be like that definitely.
Yeah,
And we got Antoine Jones. We're gonna speak it into existence. Damn it, the future champion in the building.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Antoine.
What's goody? What's goody with you?
Oh, nah, man, just chilling, man. Nice meeting y'all guys.
No doubt. Where you from, Antoine?
From Toledo, Ohio.
Oh man, they pushing them out there in Ohio,
Yeah,
man.
I was just about to say, he come from that boxing royalty out there.
Hey, listen, man, that fighting game is a serious game, man. Y'all trying to make it out, bro. A lot of y'all are choosing to put hands on people to do it.
Right. Right.
No doubt. You're in the light heavyweight division, I guess, right now. That's where we're at.
Yeah, I was because I basically, before I met Sarah, you know, my fights was I might not I get a call on 2-3 weeks notice, so you know I wasn't maintaining my weight the proper way, you know. So yeah, I've been fighting at light heavyweight, but we going back down to super middleweight.
168.
Yeah, going back down to super middleweight.
Yo, listen, man, it makes sense. 168 seems like it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's wide open, but in a way, right? Because Canelo's tied up in whatever he's doing, and it seems like everybody's trying to fight for the right to be in that top of the line conversation. Are you ranked in any of the sanctioning bodies right now?
Yeah, I am. I'm 14 in the WBA.
Okay.
Yeah, in the WBA.
All right.
And both, I would say both those divisions, 175 and 68, is both open, right? Because 75 is top heavy right now, right? You got the two, and they, let's be honest, Beterbiev is 40 years old.
Yeah,
he's on his way out. Bivol, how many fights he got? He's already talking about going to cruiserweight.
Yeah.
So Benavidez is young, right? So you know they both real wide open. Even Caleb Smith, right? Caleb Smith is what, 34?
Yeah.
So he got to be on his way out as well, right? So both those divisions in 68, Canelo is Canelo, right? He's going Canelo, right? So both those divisions is wide open. So now you said that you wasn't. So it's not a fact that you wasn't keeping your weight in check. It's just a fact that the dirty business of the sport of boxing.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, give you a couple of weeks to get ready.
Yeah, it's the old. Oh, you need to fight? Let's call Antoine Jones.
Say it again, because it went out.
I said it's the old. Oh, you need to fight, right? But he ain't ready. Let's call him in 3 weeks.
Right.
How you know? And it's and what you've been doing is
getting it done. Right. Getting it done.
Right.
But Antoine, it's like you're 18-0, 10 knockouts. Why in the world would they think to call you to come and ruin some fighter's life? You know what I'm saying? Last minute take. I mean, you seem like a high risk, low reward kind of fighter at this point, right? Like you just.
I think they had him more of like a spot filler. Right. It wasn't him as an opponent. It was him like filling a slot because he sells a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I want Antoine on to sell tickets.
Right. To cover somebody else, maybe to cover the main event.
Yeah. So that would be the case.
Right. So I use my ability to sell tickets, you know, to move myself before I met Sarah. So like you said, like Sarah was saying, the game it's a dirty game.
Nasty game.
Yeah.
So they're using you to sell. That's boxing, right? They're gonna use you. They ain't gonna try to build you up, but they're gonna use your profile.
Right.
It's a nasty game, man. Glad you met Sarah.
Antoine is like, I mean, I wanted him to come on here because he has like a great story. He's really a local celebrity, kind of, you know, like in Toledo.
Yeah, I am.
But his father was a boxer, a really like famous boxer in Toledo, was an amateur boxer. They called him Lunchman, and he took his father's name.
I heard that name. Eric, that's always with Sam Watson.
Eric Neighbors. That's my dad and him was best friends.
Okay. So
that's easy.
Small world.
Easy.
Small world.
Yeah.
Small world. Yep. That's how I know that. I know about your dad through him.
Yeah.
Wow. You
see how?
See?
So to explain to my dad a little bit. So, and I don't like to do this comparisons or nothing, but my dad, lived a wild life. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. He lived a wild life on top of trying to box when you can't live that type of lifestyle that he was living. So, but overall, if we could compare somebody to my dad, who my dad would be, my dad would have been, uh, and some say and some don't. Some say he would have been our Jared Anderson before Jared Anderson, big baby from Toledo, if he was living, if he would have lived. So my dad was murdered. So, but if my dad would have been a disciplined fighter and stuck to the game plan, he could have went that far.
Wow.
Mm,
So
wow.
so so I'm seeing you're like what, like 30, 34, 30, 34 years old? Is it?
34 years.
Yeah,
I
you're
started,
34. Yeah, go ahead. You about to answer it. You about to
yeah.
go into it.
So yeah, I started boxing. So I went to the boxing gym at 11 years old. I come from I was a basketball player actually. So I played basketball. I was all city in basketball. And then like I said, uh I was at work one day and I just kept asking God, I'm like, what do you really want me to do, God? Because working here in a factory,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't my calling. So I walked past a garbage can, and in the garbage can, I really don't even believe in really the zodiac, but I kind of do sometimes. I'll read the horoscope sometimes, and on my horoscope it said do something in your bloodline,
Mm-hmm.
and from there I figured it out. I was like, man, everybody told my dad was a fighter, his dad was a fighter, and everybody on my mom's side come from a boxing background. So everybody into my family come out with a 1-2. So I started boxing late. So I went to the gym, like I said, everybody in my family was in the gym. I went at 11 years old. I boxed, I got the fundamentals. Uh,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. He'll be back in a second. He's trying to figure it out.
Probably got a phone call.
Maybe.
Is he on
That's
his
probably
phone?
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, probably got a phone call. That's how it happens.
Mm.
So Sarah, while we wait for him, how did you guys link up?
So it was weird because his coach, Robert Mumford, I met him through, was it one of Dave's other fighters? God damn it, I can't think of his name now. The firefighter. The firefighter kid from Toledo. Why can't I think of his name?
Who
Firefighter.
God damn it.
He's fighting right now?
Yeah, he's still active, and I can't think of his name. Oh, it's terrible, and he's one of ours. That's how many fighters Dave has. Like, it's crazy. Good guy too. He's kind of like journeyman right now.
Okay.
Toledo, and he's a firefighter, and he saved someone's life from Top Rank. He actually did save someone's life at a Top Rank show.
Really?
Yeah.
The person was having a heart attack or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know
Alpha,
what you're talking about.
DeAndre
Where?
Ware.
Yes,
That's
DeAndre
definitely.
Ware. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
DeAndre Ware.
Rob told me about Antoine way before Antoine reached out to me. Like, I think you were like 4-0 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, and I like kind of just like, all right, but I didn't know what to do with him at the time. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I didn't know what a big ticket seller he was. He left that part out.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Raw that he is.
because I'm, if you don't have a big bankroll behind you, and I wasn't working with Dave at the time yet. If you don't have a big bankroll, I couldn't move Antoine on my own. I
Right.
can't buy fights,
Right.
and if I couldn't get him a promotional deal, then there's nothing that I could have offered him.
Right.
So I'm not going to take on a fighter that I can't move. So it would be a disservice for me to sign a guy that's 4-0 that I can't move, or I can't get a promotional deal for.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so I just didn't think anything of it, you know. So, you know, yeah, sure, I was interested, but what could I do?
Yeah.
You know, but here we are, and later on down the line, Antoine reached out to me on Instagram,
Yeah.
and by that time he was, what were you, like 14-0 or
Yeah. About
13-0 or
yeah,
something like?
about 14.
And I was like, oh, okay, so we could do this,
Right.
you know, like now we can work, you know,
Right.
like, and
So not
yeah,
let me not to cut you off, Sarah.
yeah,
Like my phone had cut out when I was somebody had
You
called
were
me, so my
building,
phone.
right?
Yeah, I
So
knew
Right.
that.
yeah, so okay, so like man, my coach, we when I finally started competing as an amateur, I was 21. We fought the first year 25 times. I got over 100 amateur fights.
Okay.
Wow.
Even though I started late and I competed at the very, I done fought against everybody, like everybody. Like I don't even want to put no names out there. I done fought and I done beat just about all them guys that's uh, prospects right now. And like I said, like Sarah said, it just come down to, because right now the sport of boxing is about putting your name out there. You ain't got you. I mean, it's a lot of guys that ain't nobody. They ain't even got an amateur background. Got 20 fights, and they world champions. They being talked about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so and I'm not saying guys to be at the highest level of boxing, you got to be somebody. So I ain't saying them guys is nobody, but you got a guy like Rolly, he one dimensional,
Right.
but he
Right.
got a name. That's all it's about right now. It's about putting your name out there, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I commend Sarah right now. Uh, she trying to put my name out there. You know, so
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
So
the politic game.
yeah, it's
Boxing is politics.
politics. It's
Mm-hmm.
politics.
so you're playing the politics right now. You got somebody who's got some experience out there, but
Right.
ultimately at this point, I mean, what's the I mean, I think it's a general question, right, to ask you what the end goal is. But I mean, at this
Oh,
point, is there some fast tracking? You know what I'm saying, that we're looking to make happen? Are we trying to take advantage? Because you're going to you work your way to be number 14th in the light heavyweight division in the WBA rankings, right?
yeah, yeah.
But you're jumping into 168. Have you fought at 168 yet? Have you
Yeah,
done that?
I fought at 168 my whole career. Yeah,
Okay.
I fought my whole career at 168. Like I said, I got Sarah got me a nutritionist, and like I said, we didn't want to. I could have sat in the sauna and cut the weight, but we wanted to do it the proper way. So we gradually going down the right way. You know, so I ain't
he's
putting no
with
stress on my body.
perfecting athletes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
So
I'm taking.
you're gonna as far as fights are concerned, Sarah, are we aiming at any particular fights at 168 to debut? You know what I'm saying? Like
So we recently, I can't really make the announcement just yet because the proper thing is to let the promoter make the announcement, but we are working on a deal with a certain promoter. We can't really say anything just quite yet. But we are going to debut at 168 soon. The whole situation with Turkey, that announcement kind of like threw a wrench into the whole initial signing, because that kind of messed things up for every promoter when he said what he
mm,
said. It changed kind of the landscape for a lot of people, because everyone was like, wait, hold up. Like pump the brakes, because like that took a lot of like stuff off the table for promoters, like as far as like number of shows they were going to do per year, whatever, like
mm,
they didn't know what the landscape was going to be for the quarter, or for the end of the year. So they had to like kind of change up what their contracts were going to look like, or what they could deliver for fighters, like as far as fights per year or whatever. So now we're kind of like renegotiating things. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. But we should have an announcement within the next couple weeks, and be debuting at 168 within the next 2 months or so.
Are we trying to get at these fights to be on TV? You know what I'm saying? On some decent
Oh
cards.
yeah, for sure, 100%. Like that's the goal. Like I definitely want his next fight to be on television. Like that's 100% the goal. Because fighting on the Chitlin circuit is not doing him any, justice. Like that's not,
you don't
18
exist.
and 0 is, it's time to step it up now.
Yeah. I agree, man. How would you, if you were to explain, in a few words, what kind of fighter you are? You know what I mean? Because you're popular, and you're popular because of what you're doing in the ring, I'm assuming, or are you just popular in the city anyway because of your father?
Like I said, I was an athlete already, so I mean, I always been like what you want to call it, like kind of like a jock since I've been like in elementary. I said I was a basketball player first.
Okay.
So
So,
that just
so what kind of fighter would you call yourself? Like where?
I'm a boxer puncher.
That's a good
I'm a
thing.
boxer puncher. Yeah,
Those are
like
my favorites.
yeah. And I love to fight on the inside. I love to fight on the inside. That's what people don't know. I'm stronger than what I really look like. I'm just like I feel like honestly, like when people spar me, they be like, man, I really don't even know. And fight you, they be like, I really don't know you was that strong. I didn't know that. Like, cause you look at me, if you see me, you be like, I look straight up and down, but I'm strong. I'm freakishly strong.
Word. So
And you come from a bloodline.
Right. Pedigree is everything.
I mean,
now, Sarah. So, are you guys looking to work with Turki or just stay like?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm down to work with whoever. I mean, everybody wants to work with Turki, right? Because who doesn't want that bag, right? Like everybody wants that. But I mean, that whole Dana White thing is like it's that to me, like it's kind of scary a little bit. It changes the landscape. And I mean, fighters that go into that, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, it's like, all right, I'm guaranteed this, but you cap yourself. Like, it's, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. You know what I mean?
I think.
Are you talking about that the pay scale that they released?
Huh?
That pay scale that he released?
Yeah.
Well, Turki came out and he said that's not.
It's not gonna. That's not the pay scale.
Yeah, that's not the pay scale. So
Okay.
They haven't come up with it yet.
Yeah, he said that that was just a rough draft, or essentially that's what that was. But Kevin Iole today, well, last night, announced that the TKO on ESPN or Netflix is doing a 7-year, $1 billion a year annual contract, either with Netflix or with ESPN, getting back in the game. And Turki has that $1 trillion pot that the Saudis gave for sports. So it's $1.7 trillion. And I'm pretty sure Turki is not getting in this sport to do what Dana White did in the UFC.
Right.
Where
Except
it was
for
quote unquote underpaying the athletes, right?
Right.
That's just I hope. Hopefully, I hope that's not the case.
I would say this, right? No matter how people want to look at Dana, he's the leader in the sport that he's in, right? And he competes. I would say be ready to see somebody come and compete. And in the spirit of competition, I can't see lowballing being competitive.
Yeah.
How about that? You know what I'm trying to say? I can't see him trying to sell you lowball as not to take something more lucrative with these other promotional platforms. He's going to compete.
Right.
He's going to compete. And what does that look like? That looks like opportunity and options. And options, free market is always good for up and coming fighters. It's always a good thing when it's all said and done to be able to go back to I'll use my imagination and say a top rank and say, that sounds cool, but look, he's talking about, or to even be able to go to him and be like, yeah, I hear you hitting my phone. That's what's up, but I got this. And now we got this thing going on to where more than likely, I think this is going to benefit fighters more than hurt them. I think the narrative is always going to be to put like, oh, get ready. You guys are going to be getting paid $5,000 a fight. You're going to have to do this. I think that's easy to say that, right? But if we look at Dana for who he truly is, he's a competitive person. And if he's going to compete and he's going to have $1 trillion in some account and a couple billion to compete with, he going to play. He's going to fold a lot of cards on the table and be like, I'm going to raise and we're going to play here. If you want to pay to play, go ahead. Other than that, we're going to shut down. That's the fear from the promoters, right? That's the reality that we're going to take.
At least in the infant stages, right? You gotta entice.
Right. It's got, I mean that, but you know, that's how it was. Like when you think about it, like when Al Heyman with PBC, like they were overpaying. Same with Matchroom, overpaying, just to bring the fighters in and get them salivating, right? Like get everybody's, appetite. Like, oh my God, I'm getting, it's like, come over here, guys. Like the money's crazy,
Right, exactly. Like there's no way he could come in this game trying to play those numbers and expect to be successful. That's just not going to happen. Now, I just thought about a situation. You said fast tracking, right? What about a fight with my man Steve Nelson? So cold.
It's so funny you say that. It's so, that fight presented itself a while back.
Did it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
What happened?
It didn't happen for whatever reason. I forgot what the reason was. I don't think that they accepted it. Because it was supposed to happen on the Terrence Crawford undercard. I think I proposed Antoine.
For the August 3rd card?
Yeah, and it didn't happen for some reason. I don't know why. They just picked another opponent. But that I actually did propose that fight.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah, high risk, right? Low reward. Like, I'm in a position right now where I can capitalize off of the momentum that Terrence has built. And what kind of risk is jumping in the ring with somebody at his level? It's just it has to make a lot of, sense. So, but
and I mean, now, he don't know how much interest Antoine will have in him now, seeing as though he just lost. But I'm pretty sure he would be available now, right?
Yeah, for sure. But
that wouldn't interest you, Antoine?
I said, yeah.
Of course. It would interest you.
It would.
It would still. Okay.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, man. That might be the opportunity right now.
Steven Nelson, a name. He 100%. Always when Crawford fight, he always fight.
Yeah, that mean you will be on that big Canelo card.
Right.
Right.
And Bud make sure he on.
I love that fight. I mean, I love that fight. I thought that, and I as a person, I love Steven Nelson. I think he's great. I think he's a great fighter. He has a gas tank. Like you got to be in shape, to fight him. Technically, I think I think he's basic, but you got to be in shape to fight him. Like, just got to be in shape. That's what he does have. He has a gas tank, and he could take a shot. But technically he's not the best. So can he get beat? Yeah, for sure. We saw that.
It can happen.
You
Yeah,
know.
and the thing about Steve was that once he popped his Achilles, he was on a high trajectory, right?
Yeah.
And then once he popped his Achilles, and Top Rank kind of just was like, yeah, we don't know if you're gonna bounce back from that. And he just, because remember they was building up him versus Belinga at one point,
Yeah.
and Top Rank just just for whatever reasons the sport of boxing started boxing, right? So Antoine, do you watch and study boxing? Because I know a lot of fighters for per se. I was just listening to an interview Brian Norman did, right? And
Yeah.
he was like, I don't even watch boxing if I'm not fighting, right? And he's a world champion, and plenty of fighters say that. Are you in love with the sport of boxing,
Yeah.
or is
Yeah.
this something that you could do?
No, I'm in love. I'm in love with the sport of boxing. It's in my blood. I watch boxing every night. Every night before I go to sleep. I watch something different. If it ain't a clip, if it ain't a like a short clip or anything or defensive strategy, I'm always watching. I'm always watching boxing. I go in the next day, the day I go to the gym. The next day I do it. I try to do it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's. I don't know how important it is in the sport of boxing because I've seen a lot of boxers have success without being in love with the sport of boxing. And other sports per se, it's like it might take a lot more studying. Because I was even with Tank when he said he didn't know who Marvin Hagler was, and I was like, bro, how? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's just bizarre to me. But he's successful.
Right.
Like
Right.
everybody is not in love with the sport. They can fight. You know what I mean? But I
What
love to hear that.
what
Because
Tank? Yeah, I'm in love. What Tank said something that stuck with me too. When he fought Frank Martin, he told him at the press conference. He said, "Hey, you started boxing late. Why you out partying?" So
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
so my thing is, like I said, I went to the gym at 11. I got the fundamentals down, but I never went back. And then,
mm,
like I said, like I started competing late, so I gotta study. I gotta stay in the gym.
mm.
No,
I love to hear that.
even when I blew up a little bit outside of the 168 range of 20 pounds or 18 pounds, I still went to the gym. I go to the gym every day. Every day. I work out every day. Ain't no breaks.
So you're committed. That's a good that's a good thing to know. So I
Oh,
mean, you're living a lifestyle of a fighter. You're committed to that,
I live the life of a fighter.
right? Eat right, sleep
Yeah,
right, work
yeah.
out every day.
Right. I never poisoned my body ever. I never smoked. I never drunk a day in my life ever. Ever.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's important
Okay.
too. I see a lot of guys drinking, some smoking, some taking pills, and they think they gonna compete at the highest level. It ain't gonna happen.
Right.
I kinda pattern myself like a Bernard Hopkins.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
great. Yeah, I mean, we just saw Errol Spence had tweeted out not too long ago the worst mistake he ever made in his career was drinking.
Yeah,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you got a leg up, right?
right.
And that's funny. We was just talking about that before you guys came on. That Father Time is undefeated. Because there's talks of Floyd Mayweather possibly coming back at 48 years of age to have a fight.
I ain't hear that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he actually reached out to George Kambosos, and so I thought it was a joke. And members from his team and family members they hit me up, and they was a bit like, hey, bro, if anybody could do it, Floyd could do it. I'm like, hey, he just seemed to be in a different type of space, so
Yeah,
I just don't take it serious, But
yeah,
Father Time's undefeated, and how you treat your body is what you're gonna get out of it, right?
right,
You gotta, I was just saying that, you gotta eat for results, not eat for taste.
right.
But now that you fought at higher weights and coming down, do you think how you feel your punch resistance will be? Uh,
My my punching power gonna increase.
mm,
At
Yeah,
68.
at 68, yeah, my
Yeah,
punching
that
power
makes
gonna
sense.
increase.
It does make sense because you're gonna bring down that 175 to a division,
Right,
and you're gonna be punching like a light heavyweight,
right,
or whatever you were punching at. Maybe you were punching at a damn heavy at a
right,
cruiser or heavyweight at that point. No doubt, no doubt. I'm excited to kind of see how this develops. You know, what I mean, there's definitely going to be a fast track that I can tell. I think there's fights. You know, like I said, 168 is wide open. There are fights there to be made. You know what I mean? There are fights there to be made, and you know, I mean, even like a Derevchenko. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's fights there for fighters who are trying to make these fights. That they're right there for you, and there's a lot of experience down there. You know, it's just kind of like strategically the right time. There's a lot of experience down there. You know, below 11. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fights there. Even like the Sulecki. I mean, just these different fights that are kind of there that would put you. I think victories would have you have common opponents.
Right.
With some of those guys up there and immediately put you in the right conversations. I like that. Look. Is that the thought process behind 168? Is like the thought process behind leaving 175 and go to 168? What is it? Is it about being in shape? Is it about where you're your best at, or is there not an actual game plan? You know what I mean? That you see at 168 that works for you that might not be at 175.
Well, like I said, I'm real strong. I feel like I could compete with them guys at 75. Well, my last fight, when I'm looking across the ring, I'm looking at it. I fought a guy. This guy wore a size 17 shoe. He coming down from 225. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like they do, and then you go and look at. So you got to look at the champions in the division. Look at Bevo. Look at Bevo. Look at Arthur Betterby. Them dudes are they big. They huge.
Right.
They huge. So that's we going basically off of size.
Right.
What would strength? Where would I be stronger at?
Right.
Like I said, I could compete. I can compete with them guys, but I'd be more stronger at 68 for sure.
I got another name for you. What about Lonnie B, Sarah?
Yeah, I mean,
Lonnie who?
Lonnie B.
He used to be with who was he used to be signed with?
He was signed with Floyd, I think.
Yeah, he was with Mayweather. Yeah, I remember him. Bald kid, right?
Yeah, he beat Jose Uzcategui after Caleb Plant did.
Yeah.
On like a 2-week notice or something.
I don't really remember his style though. Like
that. He's a boxer puncher, Lonnie.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm down with any of those guys. You know, like I believe in Antoine. You know, like since I've been with him and since the nutritionist, like that's what he was lacking, in my opinion, was the nutritionist. It made so much difference since I got with him and seen him fight the last few times. Like it's made such a difference. Cause it was like he was draining himself to make the weight. Whereas now he's eating all the way up until, you know, the weigh-in. You know, and I knew that, you know, because I've been in camps like with Devin and, you know, I've with Teofimo and I've seen what real camp is and how to make weight the proper way. And how he was doing it is so wrong. You know, like he's just starving himself basically. So how are you going to, you know, your body is in starvation mode. How do you think you're going to fight?
Right.
You know, your body is basically starving. So you're not going to, you know, your body's just already like when you are depleted and you have that first meal, your body's just basically repairing itself the day after and trying to just, you know, suck in all the nutrients and everything, and now you're gonna fight. No, that's not right. You know what I mean? You can't fight like that. You know, it's a gradual thing. So the perfecting athletes, they have him doing it the right way now, and he's not depleted when he's fighting.
Right.
So he looks so much stronger and healthier. Like you could see the difference. Like even on the scale, like he has abs now. He's not like just, it doesn't look like flabby. Like You know, like it was like he was, I don't know, this is like, but he looked like a tube before. Like
Mhm.
he didn't have any like etching, you know what I mean?
With
But now he
definition.
has like definition,
Right.
you know? So it's like a difference in the way his
No
body looks.
density to his muscle.
Yeah, like there's a
Yeah,
whole
at all.
difference.
How long have you been with the nutritionist at this point?
A year.
Oh, so you got a good year in right now, eating right
Yeah.
and moving a certain way. So
Yeah,
you
it's about
notice
a
the
year.
difference for sure. Like, it's for
Yeah.
sure been a difference for you personally.
Yeah, it's a big difference. It's a big difference. And I'm on. She got me on the right vitamins, everything.
Right, right.
So
For your blood type and everything.
yeah, I was right. So I man, basically my camp, my team, we was doing it all wrong.
Hmm.
So we got 10 amateurs in the gym, and we was doing it all wrong. So I'm like the blueprint. So now that we do it right, doing it right now, all the little kids doing it the same way I'm doing it. So they even seen it.
No
Mm-hmm.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
How do you feel? Like like what's the difference in how you feel when you get on the stage, on the scale, and so on and so forth?
Especially in the ring too, how you competing?
Like it's even the water intake is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
huge.
for one, like she said, I could tell my body has a total different look to it, and like I'm just more confident in the ring, just way more confident. I don't get tired, none of that. I don't get tired. I ain't been tired since I had a nutritionist. I'm not saying I've been tired before, but this is a whole different. We don't even I don't even be breathing hard. None of
Right,
that.
Mm.
Yeah, like
right.
perfecting athletes work with Shakur, they work with Michaela. I mean, they work with everybody.
So
You
it's a
know, like
company, a
Kids
specific
coming.
company.
perfecting athletes. Yeah,
Yeah,
perfecting
perfecting
Tiafimo.
Emo.
athletes. Mhm.
Yeah, like they work with everyone. So I
Are
mean,
you? How far away from weight are you walking around at?
Right now I'm 190 pounds right now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So before then, and I never, like I said, I used to be scared to get on the scale. I used to walk around at 214 pounds.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I was doing it all wrong. Like I said, like that's why he said, "Do I love this sport?" Yeah, I had to. It's like being in a marriage or being in a relationship and something ain't right. You got to change it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
you don't love it, then you ain't gonna change it.
That's a
Fact,
fact. That's a
fact.
fact. That's a
We've seen
big
that
fact,
happen so
bro.
many times. We've seen it happen so many times.
So Sarah, when are you looking to have him? When can we expect to see him like back in the ring?
well, hopefully we, get this deal done within the next week. Fingers crossed. And we have an announcement soon, but I want him to fight within the next 3 months. That's the goal. Have an announcement soon, and we move from there.
Now,
Because we've been on a roll. And I'd hate to stop our momentum.
How long you guys been working together at this point in time?
Um,
A year,
over a year now,
over
for
a
sure.
year, yeah.
Yeah.
And how many fights have you guys had? Since?
Four,
Four?
four.
4 fights. Ooh, that's it,
oh
man. I
wow, so
love
you
it.
keeping him. That was getting ready to be my next question. I was going to ask you. Speaking it into existence, you win the next fight. You want to keep him as active as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, we just got ranked with the WBA, so just want to like keep that rolling. Keep getting ranked in different sanctioning bodies, and just like
Exposure,
process
exposure,
going.
exposure is the
Exposure, yeah,
main.
facts.
Exposure is the main thing. Like you know, uh, like I feel like I got everything, far as like quality wise, star quality. I speak well, so it's like exposure is the main thing. I come out, I look good, and whatever I put on. So we just try, like, the exposure is the main thing I'm missing.
Hmm.
And it's funny because R.I.P. Paul Bumba, right? Um, him and Paul, like Paul was a different a whole different animal, right? Like it was like I had him in that YouTube kind of world, you know, but Paul was so great when it came to that marketing. Right. You know, boxing wise, we know what Paul was, you know, we all know. But when it came to marketing himself, he had that shit down. Like he could do that shit so good. And I mean he was great at it, you know, and he just knew how to do it. He could captivate an audience, you know, and I like really wanted him and Antoine to like work together, like, and him to like help Antoine, because Antoine had the skills that Paul didn't have, and Paul had the like the marketing skills that like Antoine could have, you know. So them together like would be like such like a dynamic duo. But you know, unfortunately, Paul passed, and but you know, I'm like maybe he just throw some blessings onto this situation for us, you know. But yeah, like so we were having the conversation like of them because they were kind of like in the same boat. Like they both were very successful outside, like Antoine's successful outside of the ring, and that's why he's been able to kind of like get on cards and be able to like finance his career and do things on his own, which a lot of fighters aren't able to do. You know, he's been blessed in that area, and so was Paul. And we were like, we should like tell the world about like the stories outside of the ring, like how to kind of like, you know, move your career without, you know what I mean, without anybody helping you. Like what's your story like, you know, like how do you fight without, you know, you guys have been fighting but you don't have a promoter.
Right.
You know, so tell your story.
Right.
You know, so
is this like a new age for promoting boxers, and you know, with the social media and the ability for
like
boxers to come out there?
exactly. So
Is
like
it, you know, like the short fight deals, 2-3 fight deals, and trying to protect your independence and freedom and ability to go where opportunity is, right?
Right, exactly. And so like I have like the Greg Outlaws, like Greg Outlaw, he's doing his own show April 26th and at Bowie State. And you know, like you have guys like that who are doing it on their own pretty much. You know, and it's a real thing. Like you can do it on your own. You just have to put the effort out. You have to you have to do it, you know? But you as a fighter, you have the ability, like this thing right here, this is what you need.
Yeah.
This is all you need right here. You know, but you just have to do it. You know, you have to do this. You have to talk to the people. You have to go outside. You have to record and take pictures and do all the things, but you can do it. It just takes the effort, right? You know, and that's all it is. Like Devin Haney and his dad and all it, like they just went outside and did it and took the videos and took the pictures and did all the
put the work in. Put the
work in. Exactly.
Don't forget that.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's what we're doing here. Like, it's like, all right, let's do the podcast. Let's take the pictures. Let's talk to the people. You know what I mean? You got to do it.
Yeah, you got to be outside.
You know,
you got to show up to fights when you're not fighting.
Right.
Yep, exactly. And that's kind of like how I got into the business of things. Like you have to show up. You know, I went to the fights, even though I had nothing to do with it. They're like, who is this girl? Why is she here? Like, she's always here all the time. Like, what are you doing? Why are you here? You know, but I'm meeting the people. And then, you know, here we are.
Right.
So it's like it's like out of sight, out of mind.
That's a 1,000%.
If you don't show up, nobody's gonna remember you.
Right.
So you got to show up. You got to go to the party.
Yeah, you got to go to the fights. You got to go to the gyms. Go to the amateur fights in different states.
Right. You just got to show up.
Yeah.
Period. You know, if you don't show up, you can't like it's like you gotta be in it to win it. You gotta play
Right.
lotto to win, you know.
And the thing about that is, it doesn't even matter how big your name is, because the same goes with Keith Thurman. Like Keith Thurman, out of sight, out of mind. It's like, bro, then he gets mad. It's like, y'all forgot about me. Bro. We ain't see you in 2
We
years.
ain't seen
Right.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We ain't seen you.
Do you have a relationship with Robert Easter?
No. I mean, I know Robert Easter. But as far as like us being friends, it's just our relationship is just high and by. I say
Okay.
what's up, and then I mean we don't have a relationship as friends. No.
Right. Yeah, because I know he's a big deal out there as well.
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I
I like
appreciate
the
y'all
whole time
coming
we've been
through.
talking, I've been watching, like I'm watching you fight basically.
Yeah.
Like right now,
Yeah.
I'm watching the Robert Daniels fight that you had back in September. Just
Yeah.
kind of watching. Is there a place to go to and see your fights? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? See, or is it just randomly like what I'm finding on YouTube, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
where can I see you fight at?
So I got my own cameraman. If y'all send me y'all emails, send Sarah the emails, I can send them straight to you.
Yeah,
Uh,
please do.
Yeah.
that's how me and her linked up because she was like, she looked at me and then she was like, send me another video because the videos you got right now, uh, I really can't determine if I want to deal with you or not. She wasn't mean like that, but it was, but
I
yeah,
can be
Yeah.
so
mean.
Hey, listen, if people don't know
I
Sarah,
can
Sarah's
definitely
gonna
be
keep it
mean.
100.
Sarah's like, now that we're working together, okay, so
yeah,
yeah, I could be mean sometimes.
Yeah.
He's like, nah,
Yeah.
For
Hey,
sure.
listen, she gonna keep it
I'll
100.
own that. I'll own that. I could do that at times.
She gonna keep it 100.
and that Robert Daniels fight right there.
Yeah.
I lost. I had that, so I took that fight on a 5 weeks notice. I lost, and like I said, it's embarrassing to the sport for me to actually say this. I lost 50 pounds in 5 weeks. That's kind of embarrassing to say that. To me, it
50
is. I don't
pounds?
know, 50 pounds. So like I couldn't even put I couldn't even pull the trigger. And that was like my first. Was that my? No, that was my second fight with you. And you know, that's when I started using the kind of like right before then we started using the nutritionist right before the end. So I was feeling good, but then like I said, I couldn't. It's a boxing term where y'all know you. I just couldn't pull the trigger. Like I could have. I
Right.
heard him a few times. You know his
Right.
dad, and it was a good fight for me to fight him because, like I said, his pedigree. His dad is an ex-world champion, Robert Daniels Senior.
Mm.
So he come from a boxing background. But yeah, I couldn't even pull the trigger just because my weight, just cutting all
Right.
that weight.
Right.
Yeah, I saw you staying on that jab, moving around,
Right.
staying on that jab, and kind of just controlling the pace of the fight. But you weren't really like you said, pulling the trigger. You wasn't really
Yeah.
going for that kill shot. Not
Yeah.
yet, at least.
Right. I wanted to last all the 8 rounds.
Yeah.
If I'd have shot my low, I don't know.
Right.
Right.
Give it. Yeah.
You got
It'd
to
have been
pace
50-50,
yourself.
right? It could have been a good thing, but it
Right.
could have been a bad thing.
Right. Right.
Right. But
But
no, but
hey,
you know what? In these fights, like what I'm seeing here is the poise, right? I'm seeing
yeah.
the boxer. I'm seeing the boxer. You know what I'm saying? The ability to like slow it down and control the
Right.
pace and keep him where he needs to be at. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're not swinging wide, you straight shots, and you're moving your head. You're moving your head real well. You're moving
Yeah.
around the ring real well. And you still, yeah, you seem alert. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked to hear 50
Ve-
pounds being cut in
Yeah.
5 weeks from what I'm looking at. I'm not gonna lie to you. 50 pounds
Yeah.
is
How did you
diabolical,
cut 50
King.
pounds?
Man, when I say
Yeah, let me know because
Right.
yeah, so,
Facts.
you know what I mean? You know what I
so
mean?
so even if I wasn't cutting 50 pounds, me and my coaches on Sundays we run 12 miles. On Sunday we run 12 miles. Uh so that was a big part of it. And then like I said, when I got a fight, I train 3 times a day. So I mean, at the end of the night session practice, I was in the sauna in the gym.
And when you
Burning.
was
It,
wearing that sauna suit.
nope, I hardly ever wear a sauna suit. But I got in the sauna. We got a sauna at the gym.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but it got to the point where I was so irritated. One of the guys that's big around boxing in our city, like he like a coach or like an uncle, he came in with some loud noise, and I was like, man, I can't even deal with the loud noise because I was so irritated from cutting all that weight.
Mm-hmm.
And now I
How
don't
was the
even.
eating looking? Like,
You
what
was
was you? What
angry.
was you doing? How was you eating? Like, what did the diet look like at this point? Like, were you? I mean, because you said you had the nutritionist
Yeah,
in the conversation at this point. So were
but
they
she was.
involved in the process at this point with this fight?
Yeah, she was, but it was like the first time for me really dealing with her. Like, so me and her wasn't on the same page. Like right now, she could tell you how much I weigh right now. She can call in right now and say you supposed to weigh 189.7 pounds.
Mm.
So she didn't really know. We was battling, going back and forth. I would text her like, I can't believe you got me with this woman because she don't even answer her phone. Blah blah blah. So uh I said we had to get on one accord. Me and the nutritionist, her name Paulina. Uh but now I don't even get like I hardly ever my mom in recent years, my mom wouldn't even talk to me around the time I'm cutting weight. She wouldn't even talk to me because I'd be so irritable. But the eating habits, how I would eat, guess what I would do? I would take some chicken, I chew it up and spit it out
Spit it back out.
to trick my
Stop
mind.
playing.
That's what I
So
do with my.
wait.
Yeah, a lot
So you
a
weren't
lot of
you
bodybuilders
weren't
use that
taking
method.
food in your body. You wasn't swallowing. You wasn't eating.
No, I just was chew it. I would chew it
Spit
and
it
spit
out.
it out to
Yeah,
trick my mind.
a lot of bodybuilders use that method, right? They say that is your taste buds, so you trick your taste buds, right? I was
Yeah, I
watching
trick it.
a
Right.
bodybuilder. He would take a slice of pizza, bite it, chew it to one swallow, and and then spit it back out.
Yeah.
Chew, bite it, keep until he would do the whole slice of pizza like that.
Yeah. That was me. That was me.
Yeah,
Now I'm eating 5 ounces of food, 5 ounces of chicken, 8 ounces of spinach, uh, some yams. Like I got a set schedule on when I'm supposed to eat it. My first meal, second meal, third meal, and I eat 3 times a day now.
So are you meal prepping? Is that what's happening? Like the
Nope.
meals already prepared, or you just know how to cook for yourself, or your mom? You know what I mean? Like are you
Yeah,
preparing?
I have somebody cook for me. Sometimes I cook it. Sometimes I cook it.
but you
Right.
can eyeball it at this point now.
Yeah, no. So hold on. I even take y'all over here.
He's like, no, this is serious business. Hold on. I'm talking
Yeah.
about
That's what
mathematics and
this
science
is what
right
I
now. We
like.
ain't eyeballing nothing, bro. What are you talking
Nah.
about? We
So
That's
I
what
don't know if
I
y'all can
love
see.
this.
Can y'all see?
Yeah.
yeah, I see the pen.
I got the scale right here.
Right.
Oh,
So
already on the
you're loading
pen.
up
Already
you're
weighed.
making your meal in that pan to not go over total
Nope. Yeah, 8 ounces, 5 ounces. I listened to exactly what she say. I don't deviate from whatever the nutritionist say.
8 ounces, 5 ounces. Like this is about the amount of food you're intaking. So you're eating out that pan damn near pretty much.
Yeah, so I'm
I
cooking the
mean,
food.
let's be honest, right? Like you're
Right,
eating
right,
out that damn pan.
right,
Yeah.
right. 5 ounces of chicken, a chicken breast, uh 6 ounces of spinach, uh some yams. The phone nutritionist plan on is in this phone that we on right now. But yeah, everything is weighed. Everything. Asparagus, beets. So and I like Blue Blood said, man, I don't eat for taste.
Right.
I just eat.
Eat for
Just
results.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get back to eating though. Right after the end of the career, you're gonna wild out, ain't you? Because you're gonna remember this.
No,
No, man. No, because even if I like I said, even if I wasn't boxing, I'm big on my health, and I want to look young as possible. So I'm big on that. Like that's one of my main goals in life is to stay fit, to stay young as possible. Not young as possible because I want to get older, but
Yeah, it's a
as far as my
lifestyle. I
health.
see what you're saying, but at some point, man, you're gonna want some Lowry seasoned salt and some garlic
Right,
powder.
right, right,
I
right,
don't care what you
A
right. You
little
got to.
seasoning on it.
Put some Mrs. Dash on it. You
Yeah, a
keep
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
past at some point. It's going, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like we gonna hold out. We gonna make this career a priority right now, but we gonna get back to it. We
yeah.
gonna
But once you get in the habit, though, it's hard to break the habit. You know what I mean?
Right, right. It
Yeah.
is.
As long as you got the discipline, it's hard to break the habit. Like because you feel the guilt,
Right.
right? Like
I
do
got
have
even
one last
that.
question as well, though. Social life. You talk about how you started a little bit late and how you don't have time to play games. And you mentioned what Gervonta Tank Davis said about, you started late, what you doing outside in these clubs. So I'm assuming you're not outside in these clubs, but social life, you know what I'm saying? Have you had to sacrifice a lot of that part of your life as far as friends, family, relationships? You know, I don't know if you have children, but like, do all these things suffer at the high price you're paying at the cost of being the best you can be?
I got children. I got 3 sons. I got 3 sons. So my twins upstairs, I don't know if y'all hearing, they knocking on it, they banging all over the floor. They only 8, they're 9 years old, they just turned 9. But yeah, so my kid's mom, she'll complain. She complains a lot about when I'm training. And guess what I say to myself? That mean I'm doing something right.
That's a fact.
Exactly. That's the sign.
But
Yeah,
so sorry not to cut you off, but it's like
yeah.
I tell people all the time, when it comes to boxing, it's different from somebody going to the NFL, NBA, because okay, the NBA, we everybody family member. If you go in first round, you got all 90 of your family members gonna be dressed up in a suit and tie in the at the NBA draft,
Right.
because they know you getting signed. They know you automatically coming into millions. You know, with boxing, it's totally different. They don't see that. It's like, we don't see the money right now, so no, you come get your kids. But if I was when I start fighting for $2-3 million, or even 500,000, then they start saying, okay, you know what? When you out training camp, I'm gonna watch them.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold them down for you. You can leave them
Yeah,
right
I'm
here.
gonna
They
hold them down.
good.
Go ahead. But like I said, NFL, NBA is totally different. Why wouldn't your baby mama or your girl watch the kids if you want to the NBA? Yeah, I know you just signed a contract for $40 million.
Right.
You already won. And
Right,
boxing is
Everybody
totally
collecting.
different. The sacrifice is totally different. You get the money on the back end.
right. It's a waiting game.
Yeah, it's the weight game.
Yeah. I and everybody in the world can see when you sign that contract in the NFL, and everybody, hey,
Right.
you got that guaranteed money. You good money.
Right.
Nah, yeah,
So
you're right.
your
That's what
twins are
make boxing
9.
a lonely sport, man.
Your twins are 9. I don't know how old your other kids are, but how long do you have a end game as far as at 34 years old, in an ideal situation? When would this be done? This journey that you're on.
So my sons right now, the twins, they box. They got 5 fights. They both undefeated. One of my close friends, who I box with, who we came up with together in the amateurs, he coaches them right now. I'm like the second man. So I let them play other little sports. They going to the Golden Gloves in about 20 more days in Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Golden Gloves. So my end goal, I would say 4 years. 4
Okay.
years. So the
Okay.
contract, the deal, like I said, Sarah said I don't really talk about it, but you know, it's 4 fights the first year, and it's 3 fights for the rest of the contract. For the rest of the contract, 3 fights a year. So 4 years, you know, like Sarah said, you know, I'm already a successful person outside the ring. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I don't have so like I said, and Blue Blood said, "Do you love the sport?" So that's how I know I love the sport, because I'm virtually getting no money to fight in the sport of boxing, and I'm putting my and you know, we all know the sport of boxing is dangerous. You know, so it's like, you gotta love this to be in my position, to already be a successful man, and uh to
Yeah,
keep
you gotta
boxing.
love it.
Right. So not like I told Sarah last year. Sarah always tells me, she like, why do you box? I told Sarah I made a million, $1.5 million last year. She's like, why do you
Wow,
even box? So my thing is legacy for me. Like I said, my dad was a fighter. Uh,
it's the last name.
my dad was a fighter, and I'm here to continue his legacy. And then my son's coming up. So when I'm done, I want him to take it further than me. I got a son. I got both of my sons, man. The twins, they animals, man. Animals. They
Yeah.
different.
No doubt, no doubt.
I mean,
So
they
yeah,
come
man.
from
So
that
that's
Ohio
driven
water.
though, man. You sitting here chewing stuff, spitting it out. You're not swallowing food. You're
Yeah.
not eating for. You're not. What they say? You're not living to eat. You're eating to live.
Right.
You're making all these sacrifices, and you don't even have, like, normally the drive would be, take my family out of some
Right.
sort of
Right.
poverty and
Right.
change my. You already kind of like did the work for that to get changed, and you still out here putting your life on the line. So there's a love for the sport. Was the love over for the sport always there? Like even when you weren't competing, and when you know between 11 and 21, were you still like engulfed in boxing?
Man, yeah. So I was always a kid. So they used to call me Rock. So from the time I was 3 and to 11, whatever. So we're gonna just use time spans. My mom friends. So I'm from a neighborhood. My mom, my dad, we all from the same neighborhood. And my dad friends was my mom friends. So they was in the streets. So they seen my potential already, even from a kid. They would say, "Hey, Rock, go get him." I'm 3 years old, 4 years old, fighting a 6-year-old, and I'm touching him up. So I always could fight. It was always in me.
Yeah,
I always been a kid. And then one time, my cousin, I had a cousin, he might be 6 years older than me. He had me at 9 years old, or 8 or 9 years old, fight this kid. He was a Mexican kid. He probably was like 12 or 13 years old. And this when I stopped. I was like, hold on, let me calm down. We didn't know he boxed or none of that. The dude was a Golden Glove champion. I fought him. I'm talking about, man, he spin me around, man. He kept turning me so much, man. I'm talking about I ain't never got beat up like that ever before. So, like I said, I've been fighting my whole life. I've been knowing how to fight. My uncles came out the joint from out of prison and showed me a little bit more than what I should have had been knowing at 8 or 9 years old. So
that's a good
You
look,
kind of
man.
got a little bit of Deontay Wilder's story, right? Well, he got in the sport late,
yeah,
to for his daughter with spinal bifida, but then once he got successful, he, like he always say, he exceeded his own expectations.
right,
He made the money,
right.
and I always ask him, "You did it now?" And now he say he do it for his last name. So that's similar
To me,
to yeah, you doing it for your last name, for the legacy.
yeah,
Man, that's a great thing, because so many people are materialistic, or you know, they don't do things for the passion and
yeah,
everybody do it for the views, and
yeah,
to know that you're doing it for
yeah.
your
Legacy.
last name and your
Yeah,
legacy, that speaks volumes, man. How could
yeah,
you not be a fan of that, man?
yeah. I appreciate it.
How could you
It's a
not be a
good
fan
setup,
of that?
though. It's a great setup, though, because you got your father behind you. You know, well, behind you that you're motivated for. But now you got your two sons in front of you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So the work is, you know what I mean, it's a marathon. It's not a race,
right,
right? Like
right.
you've been taking it from here. You're gonna make your father's name shine, but at the same time, you got two sons who decided
Yeah,
to become passionate about it, just like you
yeah,
did. So you're rolling right over into something else with them, man. I think
yeah,
it's a great setup. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a fan in me, brother,
yeah. I
Yeah, I'm watching
appreciate
for
it.
you. I'm
for
definitely
sure.
looking for you. You coming
But
back after you get big, though, right? You ain't gonna do like the other
yeah,
dudes.
yeah,
Oh
you got
yeah,
you got to come back,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
oh
All of a
yeah,
sudden, Sarafina not, she's sending you text messages. You calling her and she answers you with text messages. It's like, yo, can I call you back? Damn, you couldn't even text your own text message. You had to
man.
use the damn tab. You could have
Hey,
texted me.
Yeah,
Sarah always 10 toes with me, man.
No
Always.
doubt, no doubt.
yeah,
If there's not a lot of I told her this before, but there's not a lot of real people in the world, not just in boxing. But
yeah,
she's definitely one of them. She ain't
yeah. She
never,
is.
since the day I met her, she kept it 100. Whether I agree with her or disagree, she always keep it 100, and she always who she is at
Yeah,
all times. When I see, when on camera, in person, in a club, wherever we at, she is
yeah,
who she is, 10 toes down. So, God damn it, salute to Sarah.
yeah.
Yeah. Salute, Sarah.
Thank you.
Facts.
Appreciate you.
Yo, Sarafina. So is that your real name?
Yeah, that's my real name.
So what, like, so you, I don't know, you sound like water or something, or it just sounds like some brand of, like, you know what I'm saying? Sound like you got to brand that name and use it. You know what I mean? Not just, you know what I mean? Sarafina.
Trademarked.
It's very catchy.
Right, you know what I mean? That's why I had to ask if it was real or if that's her little, you know what I mean, her catch name that she came up with. But so what are you like, Puerto Rican or you
No,
Middle
no,
Eastern, you're Lebanese, you're are you South African? Like what? Yo, Sarah
South
seems kind of like her
Africa.
name is
The
Karen.
freedom's coming tomorrow, y'all.
Yeah, it's not really like your name's like Karen Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a name that you know has got
I'll
some
leave
kind
it
of
up
like.
to speculation.
All right, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. We'll carry it that way. I'm cool with that. Definitely, definitely, for sure, man.
And I mean, Sarah is well known in the sport of boxing. This is you know what I'm saying. So to be, she's always humble. She's always this person, the person that you see. And I've come across people that ain't even up here, ain't even, and suddenly they change. It's like, bro, what? But you know,
and I think that's what make me and her great together because, like you said, no matter what, we the same people. We both genuine to each other. You know, like she ain't never steered me wrong. I ain't never told her nothing wrong, and we always be honest with each other. So,
I mean, the key is to just always stay humble, right? Because I'm like, I'm not where I want to be in the sport. You know what I mean? Like I've reached peaks but it's peaks and valleys, right? We've been on the mountaintops, and you know, I've been the lowest of the low. You
In the
know, so
valleys.
and you've seen it, Blue. Like
that's a fact. That's a fact.
You've seen my ups and downs, so it's my I think it's a gift to go through those peaks and valleys, right? Because it keeps you humble, you know, like when, you know, I went through the situation with Big Baby and I was on top of the world when I thought he was going to fight Joshua. And then when he didn't, I was at the lowest of the low, you know, but it keeps you honest and it keeps you, you know, prepared for the heartbreak, you know, because that's what boxing is. It's one big, excuse my language, one big fucking heartbreak,
right?
You know, because you are going to have losses. That's just what it is, you know. Like there's not many fighters, not and you know, teams that don't go through a loss, don't take a loss at some point, and it hurts. You know, it hurts when you lose. You know, losing's never fun.
Right.
Whether it's a real loss, a death, money, it's you know, it sucks. But you know, it teaches you humility. And so I never think that I'm better than anyone or that I'm, you know, that I can't have a conversation with anyone, or you know, so I'm never going to be that person that's going to not talk to you or not take a picture or not shake your hand, or like, cuz I was you, you know, like, you know, like women that come into the sport, I'm always going to, especially women, you know, that reach out to me and want to get into the sport, I'm always going to take you under my wing. You know, I'm always going to at least try to put you in the right direction. You know, all right, like go talk to this person or do this, you know, like something to try to help, because, you know, without Jackie Callan, I wouldn't be where I am. You know, she was the first person I reached out to, and she took me to lunch, you know, so, and that was back in the MySpace days. I reached out to her on MySpace. You know, like I was like, I got a boxer I want to manage. What do I do? And she was like, come to lunch. Come meet me at Jerry's Deli in LA. And she took me to lunch. So,
and then you passed the knowledge down.
You know, that was like amazing for her to do that for me. So I'll never be that person that's not going to speak to somebody because I think I'm better than them, or it's not the way it goes. You know.
But you definitely are appreciated for sure.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I can't wait to see what's next for you, man. Hey, I'm excited, bro.
Me too.
I'm excited.
4 fights a year, 3 fights. Man, that's a lot of fights to look forward to, man. I'm definitely looking forward to see you in these rings, man, making it happen, man, for sure.
Right, and I appreciate you guys.
For sure, champ. Appreciate you,
Yeah.
man. And I'm gonna say champ because we're gonna speak that shit into existence.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Early.
1000%.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And before you go, Antoine, let the people know where they can find you on social media and everything.
Instagram, you can find me at Lunchman, LUNCHMAN_Junior. And then Facebook, Antoine Jones, ANTWAN Jones, JONES.
Appreciate you, champ.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right here. Yep, I'm
Sarah?
on. I'm on there.
And me, I'm Princess of Pugilism on Instagram.
Absolutely, 1000%. The Queen
All
Sarah King in
right.
the building. Much love
Peace
to you guys.
out.
Okay,
I'll be in touch, Sarah.
For
Okay.
sure. Thank you again.
Absolutely. No thanks
Salute to
needed.
both of you, man. Good luck to both of you guys.
Absolutely.
Bye.
And I can't wait to see what's next for him, Clay.
Yeah, man. Listen, man, it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I didn't want to get in his business, but when he said, you know what I mean, he cleared X amount of dollars back in there, I'm like, damn, bro, what you do, man? Put me on.
Put me on, Clay.
Put me on, kid. You know what I'm saying? What you out here doing, man? I ain't trying to get in the ring or nothing like that, but I mean, you don't figure it out early, brother. I ain't mad at you though, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, put me on.
Put me on, brother. Put me on, man. Send me, you know what I mean? Send me a link or something. You know what I mean? Put me on. What do I gotta do, man? What do I gotta do? You know what I mean? Nah, but I watched
Maya Egypt, the Queen. Peace and blessings.
The whole time you guys were talking. You know what I mean? I'm still right now, still running. I'm watching like him against Robert Daniels. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to catch some of his fights. Yeah, he definitely is a you know, he has cerebral energy about him, and I like those kind of fighters. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's a thinker in the ring, and you know, when you hear about him cutting that much weight, he has to become a cerebral fighter at that point, because now he has to compensate for a whole lot of things that, like he said, I'm not able to pull the trigger, but I got to win this fight. How am I going to do it? I'm going to have to adjust in all these different ways. And you see him do it in a way where when he said he cut the 50 pounds, I had to look back and be like, this doesn't look like a dude who cut no damn 50 pounds. This looks like a dude who, you know what I mean, who's in shape. You know what I'm saying? The dude who's been living life.
Right there, Clay.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. 100%, man. 100%. I'm looking right here. Yeah, man. Right here, the decision is at the end of the fight. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see. I think at 168, there's a lot of opportunities for him there, man. He can get those fights, man. He can get the Suleckis. He can get the Derevchenkos. You know what I'm saying? The Steve Nelsons. You know what I mean? He can get those fights, man. And those guys have common opponents with some current champions and current top contenders. You know what I mean? He could be right there, man. Yeah, especially when you got people like Edgar Berlanga pricing himself out of these fights, man. There's space.
Yeah. The cartoonist, my uncle, is in the building. What's up with your uncle?
Salute.
That's my real uncle too, my mother's youngest brother.
Okay.
Salute, and he's an artist, but he does cartoons.
He draws.
Yeah. Very dope. But let's get out of here, Clay. You got to get up. It's 9 o'clock.
It's that time.
Man,
for me,
it came 9 o'clock quick, didn't it?
Flew 2 hours, man. Flew. But the conversation with Antoine didn't really kick up until like the last 15, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You know, we didn't have that much background on him. You know what I mean? So it took a lot of like breaking the ice to kind of like even understand where to even spark the curiosity, right? To be like, oh, damn, as we started finding out things about him, then, you know, the father and, you know what I mean, and him, the hiatus, and him being an athlete, and, you know, him never drinking or smoking or anything. We had to find out all these little building blocks. But, you know, the next time we have him on the show, I know it's going to be even more interesting to talk about where he's at, you know what I mean, as he's taking these fights down.
And the best part about these types of situations that I love, Clay, is that Michelle Robinson, peace and blessings, Queen.
Peace to the Queen.
That's my mama.
For real?
No, who she talking about is my mom.
Oh, Leslie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, I try to stay away from her name, but
right. No, we keep it where it's at, right there with you, bro. We on the internet.
But yeah, so yeah, I love these types of stories for us, right, Clay? Because we get to see this, and what's to come and the ending, right? So we get to say we was a part of the beginning, the middle, and then the ending, right? So I love this situation, Clay, because now we can actually we see what he, we remember what he, like you said, when you get big, when you get big, right?
Right.
You tap in with us, you know what I'm saying, and then it's pretty dope, right? I love
Yeah,
this
I'm
episode.
watching him fight, man. He's poised, man. Level changing, you know what I'm saying? You know, stays behind that jab. Everything comes from behind that jab. Now I'm watching him fight Abel Adriel. You know what I'm saying? This was back in 2023, so probably before, they really met up with each other. But this is way fire, bro. This is when controlling the distance and he's using it. He's 6'2". He got that height, he got the reach, and he's using it. He's not, and it's funny because he says he likes that he's real effective in the mid range, but as effective as he might be in the mid range, he doesn't go to it. You know what I'm saying? He still makes the guy work for him. Like, nah, you're gonna have to get through this, man. You're gonna have to get past his jab. And once you get past his jab, you're gonna walk into some right hands. And if you are able to cross it and turn it into a mid-range game, and that's when I got a whole lot of surprises for you. But you're gonna earn it, and I'm gonna win it with the hammer until I need the Allen wrench, until I need the screwdriver, until I need the, you know what I'm saying, until I need the wrench, until I need you're gonna make me pull out these tools, but we're gonna win it where we win it at. Nothing to prove. I like it.
Man, can't wait to see it, man. Can't wait to see who we get in the ring. It's gonna be special.
No doubt. Next time we talk to him, we definitely got to find out what the hell he doing outside that damn ring, though.
Yeah, he doing good for himself, ain't he?
Brother, 1.5. Elaborate.
He doing good for himself, ain't he?
Yeah. Now listen, man, he working hard for it. Clearly, you know what I mean. Working hard for it, so it's a good look.
That's it. But we appreciate y'all coming through, studying up. My brother Claymore Rain. Link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. Click the link that's pinned up in the chat. Subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link to his channel is pinned up in the chat. It's also in the chat. So salute to my brother Claymore Rain. You can check out his show.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Show some love. Come on by. We had a good one today, Blue. We had a good one. Were you watching today?
Yeah. Oh yeah, what? I was watching, bro.
Yeah, it was a good one today.
I remember Ray said, Blue in here for a payday.
Right. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm tapped in. That's my gym music. You my gym music. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man.
Hey, fun fact: on Monday and Friday when you don't be on, bro, I'll be in the gym like. Yeah, because I'm so you know what I'm saying. So now I'm listening. I'll be on YouTube and I'm like, bro, ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like
ain't nothing going on right now.
And music started to get repetitive. Like, you know what I mean? It's my same playlist. So when I'm listening to y'all, it's like working out with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you think we was crazy for bringing up Turkey, man? It seemed like it seemed like was it out of place? We have left Turkey alone?
No, because it's a big deal.
Yeah, bro.
It's not a. Hey, he dropped a comment
yesterday.
Yeah, man. Bro. Like there's no ifs, ands. You can't go around Turkey.
No, you can't, man.
If you are participating, Jada Sirianni, peace of blessings, Queen. If you are participating in boxing, like we talked about, right, Clay? Bob Arum and Al Heyman ain't come together for no reason.
Nah, bro. They're dealing with that's an answer to an issue. They problem solving. They strategy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, man. When these type of time comes back around, I just felt like I was like, damn, do we kind of put her in a position because she's in the middle of negotiating something. You know what I'm saying? For our fighters. So I'm
I knew she's going. She been in the business way
media trained. She knows how to do it.
She gonna navigate through it.
Right.
And I could read her brain where I'll stop, you know what I'm saying, at a certain point anyway. So
that's why I kind of chilled. I was like, he gonna compete and this, and I started thinking, I was like, does she want to hear this right now?
Right.
He doesn't even where it's at.
And the thing is, she know the devil's in the details.
Right.
That's the thing, right? Like
Right.
we all know she. If any one of the four of us on there knows the details,
Right.
we know it's her, right? So,
Right.
like you said, it just puts her in a position where it's like, you know what I'm saying? So, but no, she's great, man. But again, like I said, Clay, you can't have an interview about boxing and don't. You got to bring up Turk. You got to.
Yeah, bro. Especially if you're up and coming. Bro. You got to be entertaining all opportunities, man.
But not even just that, right, Clay? It's important in all three phases. Mm-hmm. Because if you on the back end, it's important because you gotta be like, bro, is he like Lou DiBella? You know what I'm saying? That whole interview with what's his name? Heredia? That's his name?
Who?
What's his name from UFC?
From UFC?
Yeah, the media dude.
Oh, Ariel Helwani.
Right. That was an interview he was doing with Lou DiBella. The only thing they talked about was Turkey. The whole interview.
Because Lou was letting it be known, like, damn what you heard. This is changing the game. This is
right.
They can act like it don't bother them. They can act like this and that. Nah, bro. It's bothering them. And it should be bothering them. I'm leaving. I'm going to baseball.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you look at it from that standpoint, right? He did an interview and the whole hour was Turkey.
Right.
They didn't even get to nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Because he's such a big deal. You can't. What he's doing in boxing, G tatted up. What up, nephew? Yeah, I couldn't see it. I mean, to each his own, man. People gonna be silly. Let it be silly.
Yeah. Look, man. People don't want Turkey competing with him.
No.
You want Turkey wanting to work with you.
Right.
If could you imagine, bro? Can you imagine making that man be like, all right, me against you then? It won't even be fair, bro. I'm just being honest. Like, forget about all the stories and the narratives that people want to paint about he don't got connections. Brother, stop it, man. You know what I mean? This is prize fighting. This is about the money game. You guys made the rules, bro. So you made it easy for him. If it was really like Illuminati, like everything was in-house and you know, bloodlines and families were only allowed to be in certain. No, bro. He's got the money. He's got the Wolves. He got the Danas. He's got the Nick. He's got everybody who he kind of needs, man. He can get more. He could buy Eddie Hearn Matchroom and put Eddie Hearn on the payroll and have him working. He's not competing. He's trying to add and he's trying to help. But could you imagine if this man had the Western capitalist mindset? You know what I'm saying? The Western, right. The same mindset as a Bob Arum or Oscar De La Hoya or Al Heyman, bro. He'd be tearing ish up, bro. He'd be tearing ish up. Y'all be crying. Y'all be trying to take him to court. Y'all be trying to do all those things because he could just. What did Jay-Z said? We smash you ants with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Because y'all don't have the staying power. You don't have the staying power to fight with him.
Right.
You don't.
Exactly. And that's my
lose money for 5 years. He can lose money for 5 straight years and not give a damn about it just to take the game over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 5 years of just not making a profit, just spending, just to eliminate you, just to kill you, what you got going on, just to make your fighters not want to be over there and be over here, just to make the biggest events, just to get you cut out your arenas, take MGM from you, take Madison Square. Oh, they got a fight they're going to do over there? They had a fight they're going to do over there. I'm booking an event. Tell Madison Square Garden I'm doubling the bag to take the arena.
And the thing is, right, Clay? He can literally offer fighters offers they can't refuse.
Yeah. That's a fact. If he wanted to, he could. People thinking like he's not doing it because he can't. Nah, he think he ain't. Bro, stop. If he wanted to compete, you don't want this version of him. You want him to be this, you know what I'm saying? Assalamu alaikum, you know what I'm saying? Alhamdulillah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You want this version of him who's just like, hey man, I want to work with you. hey, call my phone. I want to do something with you. I want to bring everybody together. You don't want the guy who's operating on, you don't want Turkey to be in Rome doing like the Romans, bro.
Right.
You want, trust me.
Right.
Because God knows what you guys would do if you controlled the bag. Let's be honest, right, Blue? If Al had the bag, if Bob had the bag, if they, you know what they'd be doing. They'd be, come on, bro. You already know how to carry it.
Yep.
So it is what it is.
But yeah, let's get on out of here.
No doubt, family. No doubt, family. I appreciate you, man. Thank you to everybody in the building. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, take an opportunity to do it, man. Thank you, Blue, for, you know, once again, periodically, I got to thank you for helping me as much as you do, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, King.
Hey, bro. Hey, you family, brother.
Thank you, man.
I love it, man. I enjoy it, man. Look, the people was like, bro, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I was just going through between the flu and your birthday, it was a lot of speculation going on.
2 weeks span of just desert.
Yeah.
We have one show in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like so, but it's fun, man. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love listening to your show. You know what I mean? I'm not just you see me in the building.
Oh yeah,
so,
man, you in the building for sure.
Yeah. So you know I ain't just you know, just saying it just cause. Salute, he said, great show, fellas. Salute, appreciate you much. I love you,
Salute.
But yeah, man, let's get on out of here, man. I know you gotta get up for work early in the morning,
sir.
man.
Yes,
so
sir.
let's go ahead and turn it in. Topic at hand, but I guess we'll touch on that at another date, depending upon how it unfolds. You know what I mean?
We got a good card coming up this weekend too. So
yeah,
a decent top rank.
Oh snap!
Yeah, we got Abdullah Mason fighting. We got Richard Torres fighting. Both Abdullah and Richard Torres are going into their first 10-round fight. So you know, I don't know if they're going to be considered contenders after this fight, but
is Abdullah? I meant to ask you that. Is Abdullah fighting Cabrera, or did they cancel?
Cabrera had to pull out of the fight due to an injury. So he's fighting a late replacement. You know, another flat-footed Mexican. You know, it's not a fight that I wanted to see him in, but it's a stay busy fight. You know, his activity is always high, 4 or 5 fights, 6 fights a year. So, but it's a 10-round fight regardless. So it's gonna push him into that conversation as far as contenders. He's in 1 or 2 sanctioning bodies right now, in the top 10. He's doing the work, man. Abdullah's this close. You know what I'm saying? He's just looking for that right fight to make it happen.
I want to ask you this because I got a video dropping on this. Did you see Andy Cruz call him out?
Call Abdullah Mason out?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he called him out. He said that he sent him a contract. Now I don't know how. Yo, your face just said it all.
Who you sending a contract to, man? If you don't, that had to be a language barrier. Andy, stop it, bro. Who you sending a contract to, man? If you don't stop, bro, you don't get out of here, bro. It's good to hear you want to fight, man. I want to see the fight, man. Let's see if they can make the fight happen. You ain't setting no damn contracts. You need to stop right out, bro. Come on, bro. Who you sending a contract to? The audacity of these niggas sometimes, Blue. The audacity, bro. It's all good, bro. It's love, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what he must have sent him. What did they say that one time? I ain't going to say. He must have sent him a bottle of champagne with a letter on it, like, "Hey, man, I want to fight." Is that what you meant?
Yo, Clay. He said the audacity. As
soon as you said that, bro. As soon as you said that, bro, I was like, "What?"
Instantly, your face. You was like, "Yo, I just read you saying you don't even believe that.
You don't even believe that. Come on, bro. What is that guy talking? It's all good though. Once again, you know what I mean? It's all love.
Yeah, I just sent you a post that he put.
Okay, send him a contract, man. Funny guy, bro. Who you fighting next anyway, brother? That's what we want to know about because you 5-0 right now. So, you know what I'm saying? So we ready to see the next fight.
Yo. Oh snap, yo!
It is what it is. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Shout out to Andy Cruz. He needs a big fight, man. A fight between Andy Cruz and Abdullah Mason would be a great fight, man. I was talking about Giovanni Cabrera. Man, right. Andy's the ultimate. You know, you watch Abdullah Mason, you know, beat an Andy Cruz. I mean, he just gets that's called, if that's not a rite of passage, I don't know
Right.
what is. And Andy's taking a big risk because he's ranked like number 1 or something like that in the WBC rankings right now. He's right there in the conversation of potentially fighting Shakur Stevenson. So if he want to risk it all, I know Eddie ain't letting that happen. I don't believe Eddie would let that happen.
Do you think it's even worth it at this stage of their careers?
For Abdullah, it is. For Abdullah, it's definitely worth it. It's definitely a great fight for him to get into. But for Andy, no, I don't think it's worth it. And I don't know. No way is it worth it for Andy Cruz. But it is what it is, right? We got to see. We got to see what they're willing to do, man.
Ready to rumble, aka Alan Maddox, brother in the super chat. He said, "If Brian Norman and Boots go, who'd you take, Blue?" I mean, you got to go with Boots right now,
right?
Brian Norman, especially depending upon how Boots performs on next Saturday against what's his name, Stanionis. He's just fought the better competition right now. And the trajectory with his talent is more eye-catching. So got to go with Jerron Boots Ennis. The intangibles, the size, the hand speed, strength, right? Those things are real things. So Brian Norman is super talented. But again, it's kind of like the Lamont Roach Tank Davis situation, right? Where it's like Brian Norman, we feel like Brian Norman's going to have to have the performance of his life to beat Boots. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, then you got to favor Boots type of situation. But what's your thoughts, Clay?
I mean, obviously, I'm leaning towards Boots. I was saying this a little earlier when you had the technical difficulty. I was talking to the chat and just saying, I think people are really, it's funny because Ray Davis says this all the time when we're doing the show. You're only good as your last fight, right? I'm sure he took that from somebody who's a little bit more famous than him, but it's a line regardless that is very relevant in the boxing space because all of a sudden what we saw in Boots, the Boots that was the guy who was gonna avenge Errol and beat Terrence Crawford, the pound for pound best fighter in the world. All of a sudden, this guy can't box, right? All of a sudden, he got poor defense. He gets hit too easily. He's been exposed because he fought 2 Eastern Europeans that he didn't get up for. And I question as to how many people are really drinking that Kool-Aid as far as in the boxing game. Because blessings come in different ways, and it seems like the blessing for Boots has come in people really believing the hype. They believe that all of a sudden this dude got no defense, and like you said the other day, the dad put up money like you ain't allowed to punch back just to not get hit. Boots has wrinkles to his game, bro. He has multiple wrinkles to his game, and I say I wonder if Stanionis is. Are you preparing for the fighter who fought David Avanesian, who fought Karen Kukudajin? Or are you looking for the best Boots you've ever seen on footage wise and preparing for that Boots? Because that Boots is going to make you adjust, can switch hit, is just as good with one hand as the other, is an athlete unlike any athlete I think you've ever been in a ring with. His athleticism. I mean, Roy Jones himself said it. That boy remind me of me. So that means there's multiple wrinkles to his game that Roy can relate to. And I expect Boots to showcase all of that. I expect poise, I expect boxing, and I expect him to make Stanionis very uncomfortable. Not with power only, just with angles and keeping up. And damn, he's southpaw now. Damn, he's orthodox. Damn, man, he's working my body right now. He caught me with that. Like all these different shots, man. I just think Boots is the fighter we thought he was, Blue, and I'm expecting to show that on April 12th. I believe he will, man. I haven't seen those kind of wrinkles to Stanionis' game, and I definitely ain't seen those kind of wrinkles in no damn Brian Norman Jr. Shout out to Brian Norman Jr. Salute, but I haven't seen the wrinkles. I've seen the power. I've seen some poise. I've seen you take your time. I see you work that body. I've seen good things, but I haven't seen anybody, and it's not Brian Norman's fault, right? But you just haven't had those opponents in the ring that have forced you to adjust. I believe Boots is going to force you to adjust, and I want to see what that looks like. And if that's a great look, and you win that fight, then you have my respect, and you're one of the next ones. But Boots, until I see it, I ain't betting against him.
It's a fact.
Sorry.
So let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. But we appreciate y'all coming through, starting up, holding us down, and showing us love, man. Much love to each and every one of y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. So we got for y'all. We'll see y'all together on Tuesday. Peace.
That's a fact. Peace.